Hey there, folks, and welcome back to the Rome campaign. Have to admit, last episode I made a small mistake when we got started. I began every episode with this Atlas map mode view of all of my current land to sort of show, over the course of the series, the progression of my nation growing. And last episode, I completely forgot that I own the island of Melita, which of course is where one of my two wonders is, so I can't believe I forgot about that. But I started the last episode zoomed in like this, and I should have been zoomed out more like this. And between last episode to this episode, we haven't actually gained any more territory, so fortunately, this episode's beginning is a chance to correct the record and show that this little island is part of the Roman Republic, but there we are. So apologies for this grievous error. I will never recover from the shame such a mistake brings upon me. I'll be up at night thinking about it, but whatever the case, last episode was very peaceful. We had a pair of consulships back-to-back with no major wars as we were focusing on recovering from the First Punic War. We attended to our internal politics and managed to really not only fix, but quite dramatically improve our stability. We have extremely good 77.74 stability right now. Pretty high downward trend, but we've managed to push it quite high up. And if we were to do another round of divine sacrifices, we could actually keep it up in the 70s for quite a long time, as at this point, as you can see here, divine sacrifices has run out, so that's why the trend is so high, on top of the stability just being at such a high level. But we'll worry about that later. We've also got no AE, no war exhaustion, a completely full manpower reserve. We'll talk about that in just a second, because I do plan to put this to use, but again, we'll talk about that in a minute. The economy isn't as good as it looks because we have had that new election, so the new consul and co-consul have brought in new stats. We'll take a look at them in just a sec. But with everything on low pay, we are maintaining about 30 gold per month, which is a pretty good place to be at for the mid-game here at this stage, 35 years in. And then, tyranny-wise, we do still have a lot of tyranny, but we've been letting it decline at a steady pace. And with tyranny, really all you can do is just not gain more, and then you occasionally get those events that give you a tyranny reduction. So whenever we've gotten those, I've been jumping for that, but mostly I've just been letting it decline. What I'd like to do is at least get it down to like 50-ish before I start to gain tyranny regularly again. And tyranny does have its advantages. It has pros and cons, the main con being provincial loyalty reduction. So I think that our high tyranny has been a contributing factor to our problems with loyalty, but as it's been declining and as our stability has been quite high, our national situation isn't as bad as it has been in the past. Things, still have a long ways to go, but things are getting under control. Well, there's still some ways to go, but getting our tyranny lower will continue to help that, and we'll attend to this in just a minute. And aside from that, nothing else too severe over here, it looks like. Okay, so with that noted, we also have a new leader to take a look at, new pair of leaders. The year of Appius and Appius, once again, a team with the same name. Very interesting how that keeps happening. We have got Appius Claudius Rosas as our consul, 9788. He is ambitious, whereas some view the ladder to the top as a challenge. Appius prefers to see it as firewood. He's more likely to murder his way to the top. In terms of modifiers that matter for him as the consul, +1 to all stats. Let's see what else. That's basically it for what matters. I guess increased loyalty, gain chance for cohorts, for what that's worth, but cohort loyalty from levy cohorts is not necessarily that big of a deal. It's when you're talking about legion cohorts, then it becomes a much bigger issue, because those guys are raised permanently. That's how legions work. And those guys being loyal to some particular guy, particularly their legate, can cause a lot of problems for your safety, obviously. So we'll worry about that later once we get to legions. Rosas is also blunt. One, that's charisma, and 25% reduced improved opinion maximum, for what that's worth. Sometimes facts are just facts. That's how he looks at it, at least. He's got the blood of the Claudii. We've read this before. And of course, the modifiers are for the governorship of Italia, local fort defense +10%, and as the ruler for this 5-year period, omen power +10%. We do have to pick our omen in just a second, because I wanted to give myself time between episodes to decide what I was going to do with this consulship, and I will talk about my plans once we get there in just a bit. Rosas is also cold, one less total friends allowed, although he's allowed to have 13 friends, so he's he's not going to have any problems being a little bit cold. He still has a giant menagerie of friends who he can potentially have. Currently friends with Walero Aurelius, for what that's worth, the censor, so I guess that's good. One less charisma, though, and assassinate cost is reduced by 25% while he's the ruler, so that is interesting. He may make use of this, maybe not. We shall see. One could liken the heart of Appius Claudius Rossus to the icy rocks upon which Prometheus was bound, and yet still be considered generous. He is confident, one extra martial, and as the commander, the Levy of Italia will get Chariot Discipline 5% and Heavy Cav Discipline 5%. 2 unit types that are not part of the Levy of Italia, but I guess the martial part is handy. Trusting one's instincts is the first step towards mastery. And he is monotonous, which, as the ruler, reduces his popularity gain by minus 0.20. The harsh grating sounds that occur whenever Appius opens his mouth have become known to cause crowded rooms to become mysteriously empty. Already put him onto influence stakeholders, so that's perfect. And then his co-consul is our old friend, Appius Claudius Caecus. And incidentally, these are both Bonnie characters, and the Bonnie have had a bit of a surge into power here with this double consular election. 46% Bonnie control, and they're super improving at the minute with very high monthly trend, by the way. The Bonnie just love our giant super high stability and all the other things we've got going on. So Bonnie approval is very much set in stone here, and they've got the most control as well. So we've got the dominance of the Bonnie for this consular 5-year period at least. Incidentally, the Optimatus, led by Appius Claudius Africanus, are down to 25 control. And the Populares, led by Wielenz, our former consul, is down to 29% control. But in terms of approval, this has a slight negative trend, this has a slight positive trend. We're going to be fine. In this campaign, Senate support has been surprisingly easy to manage. I don't know if I'm just doing this well, or if Terra Indomita makes Republic internal management a lot easier than the vanilla game. So I remember in vanilla Imperator Rome, managing republics was kind of difficult sometimes, but maybe I'm just better than I was in the past. Could be. In terms of the stats for the nation, we've got 9, 9, 8, or hold on. No, I guess I'd say it is 9, 9, 10, 8 technically, with good stats across the board, so that works for me. Right, so we've got a good martial character, and incidentally, I should also say my next expected consuls are going to be Appius Claudius Africanus, once again, and Walero Aurelius, the current censor, which would be an Optimatus and Popularis team up there, so that's interesting. This, oh my gosh, 11 martial on this guy. That would certainly be great. We could make good use of that. We'll come back to that and see if that is a route we want to go, but this would make for a very good martial consulship. We'll come back to that, but whatever the case, let's go ahead and take a look at our mission tree, actually, because this is going to define a lot of the planning for this episode. So first I'll say, having looked at the situation between episodes, I do think that in this 5-year period I want to go to war, particularly because my manpower is at its complete maximum. We have a lot of manpower to make use of here, and I want to put it to use. But who to fight? We've got essentially 4 directions to go in. The one direction I want to go in the most is north into Cisalpine Gaul. I've sort of said this last episode, but I don't know at the minute if, after I finish the current mission tree, which we'll talk about in just a second, if a Cisalpine Gaul mission tree will appear. Possibly. I'm pretty sure there is one for Rome, or there should probably be one if there's not one by default. Maybe one of the mod adds ones, maybe one of the mods adds one, I should say. But whatever the case, I don't really want to go into Cisalpine Gaul without the support in that venture of a mission tree to give me more claims. Getting the claims on all these different tags would take up a lot of PI. And I don't even have a claim on Etruria anymore. Otherwise, that might be my gateway in. Fortunately, a lot of this region is held by Insubria, who I could just claim anywhere and then go for them. But it's a pretty small region, all things considered. You know, it's really just not a lot of territory to work with. But it is split pretty closely between a bunch of very small provinces, so we'll see what has to happen with that. I'm just hoping I get a mission tree that lets me go in that direction, but we're going to see in about a year or so what the deal is with that. The other options that I know for sure there are mission trees for, because I saw them earlier, is to go into Greece, and this would mean fighting the Antigonids, which is a reasonable option. The benefit of this direction compared to the other ones in terms of expansion is that these guys are Hellenistic, so it's going to be a lot easier to focus on just assimilating them and not needing to convert them. At the same time, these guys are a different culture group, and it's kind of awkward because we won't have a land connection. We'll just sort of cross the water, which is allowed, right? We can still definitely have this one sea tile sort of difference, but could be logistically complicated to hold this down since it is basically not connected to us by land, at least at this point. The third option is to go into Africa. We have a mission tree that's about conquering Carthage, which is certainly a tempting idea. Africa has a lot of really good resources, and there's some pretty solid terrain down here as well. On the other hand, though, the problem with this direction is that these guys are wrong culture group and wrong religion, and also I'd be dealing with a lot of the tribes in the desert who I may just have a lot of trouble dealing with. Particularly, I'm thinking about Garamantia and maybe even Massilia a bit more, directly. So actually holding the stuff down and keeping it protected and keeping it stable might be pretty tough. And at this point, I feel pretty confident I don't need to rush to destroy Carthage to make this campaign safe for myself. I no longer consider Carthage a super serious threat, given that although they're rebuilding their navy here, we can probably maintain naval supremacy just given a bit of planning. We have the economy to support it for sure. And ultimately, at this point, the only nation that I really truly fear existentially is Egypt. Like, Egypt is very, very strong in this campaign. Speaking of which, the fourth option for us is to go to war with Egypt, who I'm about to get a claim on. This is kind of a wild card claim, just to have one in case we wanted to go for a very profitable, although very risky, raid into the Nile. I think after really considering it, this isn't quite feasible, mainly because Egypt has been building up its navy. We've seen their 81 ship navy they had about a year ago or so, maybe a couple years ago, and that was entirely Liburnians and triremes. So if I were to build a third fleet in the same composition as my two Classices, we would probably have the weight advantage. However, Egypt at this point would, even in that situation, still have the numbers advantage, and they probably have some naval bonuses from their mission tree. I'm not entirely sure, but Egypt was historically a major naval power, so I guess I'm honestly not sure. But the point is, I no longer feel confident that I can achieve naval supremacy, especially not right now with my two fleets, but even with three fleets, it's not a sure thing. I'm not sure I'm ready to commit to four fleets, which would be what I would need to confidently achieve naval supremacy. And even if I achieved naval supremacy, Egypt would maintain, exponentially more land supremacy, and my only hope would basically be to ransack them so aggressively that I could get enough war score to get out of that war with the white piece. But then I'm stuck with a furious Egypt for probably the rest of the campaign that I will not really be able to have any relations with. The main problem with that isn't that I want to be friends with Egypt, it's that they may not agree to trade with me anymore. They may hold back their many, many, many resources that they control, and my economy, and particularly my resource needs for surplus stuff in my capital, is at the minute pretty reliant on Egyptian trade. I'll just show you as an example here how many of these are coming from Egypt. Like this is Egypt here. It's a lot. It's a lot coming from Egypt, and a lot of these resources are only available from Egypt at the minute, because some of these are quite rare. So going to war with Egypt may make me a lot of money in the short term, but could kind of screw up my economy in the sort of mid to long term, and ultimately I'm not in a position to seize these resources myself, which would be the only solution, unless I wanted to go through the painstaking process of rebuilding Egyptian opinion of me. So getting the claim by itself probably isn't a problem, so I'm fine to have the claim, but I'm probably not going to act beyond that until I'm a bit more confident. I would need to have clear naval supremacy. Egypt probably needs to lose a bit of territory and clearly start to decline before I go for it. And I probably want to have a stronger army as well, just to feel confident I can pull off the raid. So it's an interesting idea, but I think that realistically, it's just not really in the cards at the minute. So I wanted to just kind of explain that context there. So that being said, I do still want to go to war, and I think in this 5-year period, I think the plan's going to be, I'm going to hold off on knowing for sure who I'm going to fight, but I'm going to still prepare as if I'm going to fight somebody, because we have a pretty good martial we have a decent martial leader at the minute. I can put him on martial focus to give him even better martial, so let's do just that. So 10 is now good enough that I definitely want to go to war with this guy as the consul. So let's go for a martial omen for this period. I think under the circumstances, morale of armies remains our best option here, so let's go for just that. Also, someone has built a shrine to Pluto over here. We're going to definitely need to desecrate that because I want to build this shrine in my own core territory. We'll come back to that later. For now, let's go ahead and worship Minerva to get the morale of armies bonus once again. This may not be relevant right away, although before I'm able to go to war with one of the three directions, either Cisalpine Gaul, Greece, or Carthage, I will be able to go to war with the city-states, Croton and Hipponion, who my truce with will end at the start of 486. So I can definitely at least do that. So let's worship Minerva once again. And then as for the mission tree, this is the main thing that's going to define the pace of this consulship. We are waiting on this grand theater in our temporary capital over here at Turnham, or provincial capital, I should say. We can move the capital back over to its proper location, Histonium, once we're through this part of the mission tree. But, and whether I'll keep Eternum as a city, I'm not sure still. I don't really like having cities right next to each other normally, but these are both, like, these are all, like, farmland tiles, so maybe it's justifiable to have, like, a line of cities here. The thing is, it's just expensive to maintain all those forts, but Eternum probably is better as a city than as a settlement tile, so eventually the Italian peninsula will be quite densely populated, so it will behoove me to have a lot of cities. This is farmland on the coast, so it is a good kind of tile. Olives isn't an amazing resource tile because you can't put a farming settlement there. You could get more from, building I can't really show you. But yeah, like farming settlements are only for food resources, and although olives, you eat them, they don't count as a food resource because their main benefit is not food, it is happiness. So it is what it is. It counts more like a luxury. So Eternum being a city is, I think, probably fine. Plus we've got, actually, no, never mind. We don't have anything there. No, actually, we're going to get it from here. We're going to get Colonia in Eternum, although that's only temporary. I think we'll just leave it as a city. I think trying to min-max, city locations in this way, in Italia, where the terrain is so good, is not that big of a deal. So anyways, once this is done in late October of this year, we can then immediately do colonization of Eternum. We can then immediately do expand trade in Latium, and then we can immediately start embellish Roma, which will then mean that late October of 486, this will finish. And I'm not going to wait around to do Roma the Metropolis, because this requires a very PI expensive option, which is making it a metropolis. This is something I do want to do in Roma to give it more capacity and just some other modifiers. However, I'm not going to be able to really do this within the time of this mission tree. I'll just do it later on once I have enough PI to spare. And this modifier is only temporary. It's only a 5-year modifier, which it's a good modifier to be sure. It would make a lot of money. But I think I'd rather just finish this mission tree and then in the remainder of this 5-year consulship, spend it doing another mission tree. And we'll see after this mission tree is done which options we have. If we've got those same, expanded to Greece mission tree, the expanded Africa mission tree, or if we have an expanded Cisalpine Gaul mission tree. We'll see what options we have, but I will do something expansive or something like conquest focused at that point. So that's the basic plan for the start of this consulship. I think we're good to go ahead and resume here. We do have a civil war brewing. Why is this? I don't have any disloyal characters. Is that just wrong? Hold on. Let me verify this with the loyalty. Yeah, I literally no disloyal characters, so this is just wrong, unless it means the subjects are disloyal. I don't have any subjects, though, so... I think this should go away after a monthly tick, because there are no characters that are disloyal. And I have no locations... Like, this is a different thing than Rebellion. This is Civil War, so... This isn't about the provinces that have bad provincial loyalty. That's a different mechanic entirely. Okay, I don't know what this is about. Yeah, we'll see what happens with that, but for now we'll just proceed. Although first, anything I need to change here... Yeah, the main thing is the tyranny, but we're working on that. I think we're okay to keep this as it is. Let's see, anything above like 33. Yeah, Syracuse, I think I do need to switch back over to harsh treatment. That'll have to do. And that's all of our PI for now. Okay, let's go ahead and resume. Yes. Alright. So we gotta... Went on a date last night, so I was just texting the girl. You know how it is. Alright, Noble District in Lavinium is done. Very good. Okay, let's see. We have another one being finished. Good. Now, with the Bonnie leadership, we should prioritize building projects as much as possible during this 5-year period, even if we're also dealing with war. But we shouldn't need any money for the war, most likely. We can probably run a fully, normal ship maintenance and, like, army maintenance during the war just fine with our current economy, even if we don't have a lot of money saved up. So, Roma does have another building slot ready, and I could build something here. Probably should do that. Let me go ahead and switch over to stone, since we're on a monthly tick. This is the... We just got the money for that. Switch to stone. Trade for stone. Okay. Also, this did not go away. How raise the characters? Who is disloyal? Because this is not telling me who's disloyal, and I'm gonna have a civil war if it's not fixed. So I'm a little concerned about this. I don't know if this is a UI glitch or like an actual in-game glitch or what the deal is. It says Russus is near disloyal, but he's not actually disloyal. Let me bribe him once I get a bit more PI just to make sure that everything's fine. I don't want to give him free hands because I want this guy to be my permanent governor here. This governor seat, it keeps, like I said before, it's just cursed. It keeps who sits there keeps shifting, but we'll worry about that later. All right, so we got some stone going. Let us get some buildings going. Here in the Roma, I've already got the desired ratio stuff that I can get. I probably just want to get more aqueducts at this point. Honestly, that's probably worth doing. Could also get more conscription camps. These are worth a lot of manpower. Commercial districts are also really good, though. I think at the minute I need to just prioritize aqueducts because we are so close to our pop capacity, and we have a lot of slaves here that want to promote up, but we don't have a lot of room here. That being said, I can still also invest into the surrounding areas. Let me just go ahead and give myself a bit more room here. Let me get maybe 1 or 2. Let's get ourselves 2 aqueducts for now. Oh, and I can't build another one. Oh, yeah, I only have 1 building slot, that's right. Duh. Okay, we got our 1 aqueduct going. Over here, this noble district is finishing. And then I probably want to also get some citizen districts too, as well as courts of law. Although citizen districts first, because they give a lot more ratios. So let's build 2 of these. All right, switch back away from stone. With our economy this strong, we're going to be able to do these sort of stone trade building, moments every couple months, honestly, which is great. Really get the trade with Egypt here. Really get these infrastructure projects underway because they're so cheap under Bonnie leadership. Build cost reduction minus 15%. Very good. Oh, it went away. Okay, so I guess it was glitched out, but it's gone. We're fine. No need to worry anymore. Very good. Progress. All right. Anything else I want to change over here? This is all under control. Yeah, I think this is looking fine. This is looking fine. There's one of the Egypt navies spotted entirely like ship composition. We have a claim on Egypt. Speaking of which, how does Egypt feel about this? They don't love it, but they don't have like super bad relations with me. I may, just to be on the safe side, improve relations with them. Ironically, right now, under this current console, I happen to have that approved opinion maximum reduction effect, so it's fine. I think once our console changes, and which will happen before this reaches the maximum, it's going to recalculate that, so I don't think it's a problem to do this right now. Also, I'm not trying to ally with them, I just want to get a bit of opinion with them, just to be on the safe side. Couldn't hurt. Mostly I just want to avoid... The main thing I want to avoid is Egypt canceling trade with me. That's the main concern I have, so let's just improve opinion with them, just to be on the safe side, but we're not going to really fixate too much on Egypt as a true ally. An Egyptian alliance is an interesting idea, but it has obviously a lot of risks in terms of us getting involved in the very messy Eastern Mediterranean geopolitics. Also, Antipatrids are beating Antigonids, which is interesting. That may affect my decision-making about what mission tree to go for, but we'll come back to that. For now, we keep going. There's the Egyptian Navy sailing around. I guess it's just scouting around. Fair enough. Right. Save up my PI. I probably should save up my PI to make Roma a metropolis. It's probably... Also, I need to get more holy sites, too. That's the other thing I need to do as well. But making this metropolis, I think, would give me more... Let's see if I can find out how this works. No, it doesn't tell me. I think metropolises increase pop capacity, and they give some other modifiers. I don't remember, honestly. I build metropolises so infrequently that I often just don't remember what they do, but... It's certainly good. Chin's doing super well. What's Chin up to? Oh my god. Holy shit. Alright, Chin's doing very well. Okay, I guess no surprise that we've got Step Chin in this playthrough. Love that. Yan is completely gone. Phnom's doing well, that's good to see. Nothing else too surprising happening in the world. Right, let's just keep saving up our money here. I think on the next monthly tick we can probably do another building project. We shall see. Yeah, this is probably enough. Let's trade for stone and get another thing going. Just try to maximize these build cost reductions while we have them. Alright, trade for stone. At some point I'll have enough trade routes to just trade for stone permanently, but for now I'm still able to min-max by doing it like this, so... Choices are being made here. Right, I could build another building in here. I could build a third district for the citizens, which I should probably do. I'm going to prioritize getting the ratios set up in the sort of satellite cities around Roma before I get other improvements, just so we've got enough population focusing on research. We do have very good research for 35 years in, 133 research, but it could still get higher. And with this research efficiency at its cap, the best thing we can do is just have more integrated culture pops that are of the correct population type, so citizens and nobles. Right. Okay. Let's go ahead and switch back over from stone to sheep. Trade with the Gauls. Sounds fine to me. We could also spend our PI to get another round of divine sacrifices, but I don't think we need super high stability for sure. I mean, it is handy, but the benefits, you know, is it worth all that PI? Honestly, it probably might be, to be honest. I guess we'll see. Noble district is finished over here. Now it's got 3 citizen districts queued up to work on, so that's pretty good. Very good noble ratio for a non-capital city. That is good to see. I may want to redistribute some slaves to these other cities, particularly the smaller ones. I think I'm actually going to do that here, just because there's so much room here. I'm going to get the pop growth that happens in Roma really maximized. So let me trade for vegetables for just a sec. We've got more than enough money to do this. Trade for vegetables with just the Celts, or whoever that was. I think it was Celtica, actually, so the Iberians. Alright, let's bring some slaves over from Roma. Let's focus on moving Roman slaves and other Hellenic groups, like some Hellenic Cretans. Maybe a few more. And yeah, I think that's fine. And then we'll move maybe 5 or so into Tiber as well. Some Boeotians, some Italiotians. Alright, that looks good. Okay. Now we gave ourselves some more room in Roma for pop growth. Alright, switch back over. I guess I could do a bit more slave micro. Are all my resource locations fully stocked up? I gotta check that ever so often. Right, mine. Oh shoot, I can't check it like that. I can check kind of like. Hold on. I'm assuming so. I'm assuming we're fine on these fronts. Also, this place here can now switch over to Turris Libasonis. Switch this back over. So it's going to set it down to 23, which is pretty painful, but it is trending up. So it's going to get back to 33, you know, before too long. What I should probably do, I should probably make Turris Libasonis a city and also give it a port, because I think that's going to be quite important. But I'm not going to have the PI. I will have the PI not too far away. It's not that expensive either. All right, let me save up my PI to build a city here, just so I can get a port here as well. This is a good spot to have a port. And then after I make it, once I start the city construction, I can then move the capital, which will bring it down to disloyalty, so I couldn't start the city construction after I do that. So let's do it in that order. So which means we can go ahead and stop trading for vegetables and switch back over to sheep. All right. Looks good. And although I still can't get a full sense of how much food I have in Roma, things seem to not be amazing, so I should maybe trade in some more food. We'll get back to that in just a second. Granary is raided. We've received word from local officials in the province of Lucania that several important provincial food stockpiles have been looted by malcontents owing to the contempt for the government across the area. It seems they hope to make tensions worse by forcing a hungry people to action. In any case, it will not be cheap to replace the stolen goods. Right, so Lucania, that's not Lucania, here we are. These guys have had low loyalty, and getting a boost here would be quite handy, so I'm going to go ahead and get some loyalty as well on Russus. Not on our consul Russus, but on the other Russus, the governor of Magna Graecia. The two Russuses are here. 111 gold would put us into bankruptcy temporarily. I may cancel one of the citizen districts just to get some money back so that we're not in bankruptcy. But I would like to actually get the loyalty on Russus the governor alongside the province. So let's just replace the stockpiles. Right. Okay, and then let's go ahead and cancel this bankruptcy by canceling one citizen district. We can just rebuild it in a few months, so it's not really a big deal. It's just in the queue. All right, looks good. This is done in a couple of months here, and then we can also get ready for the war against these guys. The truce is up 5th of January 486, so we will, that's the first thing we're going to do in this episode, military-wise, is go to war with these guys. I'll probably just declare both wars at the same time and just, you know, march in. In fact, I should probably get ready for that, shouldn't I? Let's raise our forces in Fundi and then march them down. I think that's probably going to be fine. Alright, split you guys in half. You guys head... I guess they can both go to Tempsa, honestly, so let's just have these guys come down to Tempsa. No need to make use of my other levy. I'm just going to sack both cities and then demote them. It's going to be 10 tyranny to do that, to demote both of these, but it's too... Actually, Croton's not a terrible spot for a city. I think I'll keep Croton as a city, actually, because it is farmland, and I think in Italia I need to start being a bit more open-minded about farmland coastal locations for cities, because we have a lot of good options. That being said, this is also pearls, which I kind of want to have surpluses of, because this is a pretty rare resource. But I could also get surpluses in the city. I don't need to have it be a settlement tile. I'll figure that out later. For now, let's just get everybody down here, go on to regular army maintenance. Shouldn't need my forts or my navies for this. We'll just do assaults and get this over with really quick. Should not be a problem at all. Right, and then, incidentally, let me check and see something here. Where is, okay, Quick March is down here. I want to get to Quick March eventually, because getting Forced March will really speed things up. Also, building roads will speed things up a lot too, but that's going to require some more tech, so we just have to wait for that. We need Civ Advance 5 to build roads, so we're actually not that far away. I'm going to be pretty excited to do that. All right, Grand Theater and Eternum is done, which means we can start the process of this stuff. So we go for this now. Eternum gains Colonia for 10 years, and we get 1 free province investment. Eternum is an important city, but its loyalty is at times in question. We should spread our own culture and language among the citizens of Eternum, make them feel properly a part of our country. All right, now immediately expand trade in Latium. This just requires 3 trade routes in Latium, which we've done already, so that's already good to go. Roma gains a permanent modifier, commercial center, 2 city building slots. That's pretty good. The city of Roma and the entire surrounding province of Latium requires a great number of imports in order to grow and thrive. We should entice merchants and traders to open new routes to our province so we may import more goods and food to its capital. And we can immediately start embellish Roma. 1 year to complete. On completion, we get 2 nobles of the Roma for free, and we get a very strong permanent modifier, forum and complex, 2 more city building slots, 15% local research points. This is, by the way, probably by itself a strong enough bonus for the tile of Roma to justify all the shenanigans involved in the Pearl of Italia tree, which I otherwise don't like that much, but this part down here is very good. And civ level 10%. We're going to hit 100% civ level in Roma in the near future, and this is going to help us get there. Roma is the capital of our great republic, and yet it is not as grand and imposing as befits a city of that stature. Let us undertake great works and turn this great city into the envy of the world. All right, get that going. Rise of Roma. The announcement of Appius Claudius Russus that Roma will open her doors to all able artisans, masons, and architects has been sent out to every corner of our republic. It is his will that no expense be spared to embellish the city and make it a true gem of Roman culture. The world will look at my works. Ooh, we get 20 PI for this? Wasn't expecting that, but I will take that. Thank you. Alright, so we do now have... do we not have more city building slots? I guess we just lost some population, so maybe it evened out. Oh well. And we do have a new province investment we can do. And I think at this point, continuing to get more trade routes in Roma is still the way to go, honestly. There's still more things I want to maintain permanent trade for, so let's trade. Let's get another business investment in Latium. Very good. All right, now with all this PI, what can I do with it? The city, that's right. How far away are we from this? We're a few days away, so let's get a city going up here, then we'll move the capital over to Turris Libasonis once the city construction is underway. Okay. Oh, I don't have the money for it. Whoops. All right. I can get the money for it. Let me cancel on these buildings. That should be enough. Just want to get this going right away. All right, so Turris Libasonis will be our city over here for all the reasons I've talked about multiple episodes ago when we conquered this. Found a city. All right, now that we've done this, we can move the capital over without fear. It's now disloyal, but it is trending back up at a brisk pace, so this should be fine ultimately. And it's going to become a city while it's disloyal, which is completely fine. It does have this modifier only temporarily, but it is for quite a ways still to go, so that's fine. Okay, back over here. Make sure we're trading everything that we need to be. And do I have any other trades that are available? I don't want to miss any of these. No, I'm catching them all. That's good. Like Ash Ketchum. Gotta catch them all. Right. Alright, I could make use of the navies even in low pay mode, because these guys are not leaving during that. But I don't think I need to worry about the navies. Should be completely fine. Alright, power and privilege. Since time immemorial, the great families of our country have also been prominently present in Roma, close to the seat of power. With the currently ongoing renovations, however, the geography of the city is rapidly changing. Entirely new blocks are being constructed of more durable materials, and with better sanitation than ever before. It is no surprise, therefore, that the families of Rome have now begun to position themselves to acquire property close to and inside the new quarters. They are offering us sizable sums to be allowed to access the best plots. Right, so we could gain a bunch of prestige for the Claudii family, which in a republic is not that big of a deal because your ruling family is going to shift every 5 years, so not going to do that. So when they said sizable sums, what they meant was no money at all. So what I should really do to be, min-maxy about this is give it to the family with the least current prestige so that the family prestiges aren't too asymmetrical, which means giving it to Quintus Fabius Goetigus, who does actually have sort of low loyalty, although all of them being family heads have kind of low loyalty. So we're not doing this one for sure. Fortunately, the other family heads don't mind when we favor this one family specifically, which is a bit strange, but we'll go ahead and give it to Quintus Fabius Goetigus for the extra loyalty. Hopefully the Optimatus appreciate it too, in the lore at least, and some prestige for the Fabii family. We shall allow the Fabius family to have the best plots. Right. Check my phone really quick. So we should be good to go in just a couple days here with the invasion. That's fine. Wait, that's not fine. That's Latium. Okay, this. Ooh. All right, this is not fine. We need to attend to this. We may have a population in Latium may have gotten a little out of hand here. Yeah, 296 population here. We need to import some more food. I figured this day was coming, but here we are. We're keeping all the grain, right? Yeah, we are keeping all the grain. Okay, we need to actually... I can't mess around here to get more food, so... Okay, here's the plan. Let's go into trade. Incidentally, sheep actually we should keep because it brings in more food. I kind of want to keep the marble for the noble happiness, but I have really happy nobles across the board over here, so I can maybe get away with losing out on the marble. I could also change the policy to be one that increases the local food amount, but that probably won't be enough. It's also because we're in January, so I've just not attended to this in time, so we may have a little bit of starvation here for just a bit. We have to just kind of wait. If I could get rice, that would be worth a lot. Alright, so what am I trading for that I can justify canceling? I think at the minute, probably Woad is the one that I'm the most comfortable canceling for just a sec. Woad's kind of rare, but Tribesman Happiness at this point shouldn't be a huge problem. Tribesmen are generally pretty chill. How many tribesmen do we have? Okay, we can definitely justify getting rid of Woad. In fact, I don't even think I need to maintain Woad anymore. We have so few tribesmen now. We're really promoting them. Like, our pop promotion bonuses are so stacked up. We're getting all of our tribesmen basically everywhere promoted up to freemen really fast. And up to other positions, or demoted to slaves really fast. Right, so with these extra 2 resource slots, what can we get? So no rice. Rice is really good for food, so that's not available. We could just trade in more grain. Never a bad option. Honey would at least give us a dip rep bonus, but the local food benefit versus grain is not worth it to lose that much. We could just trade for vegetables permanently. That is a food resource. Fruit gives a commerce bonus too, so fruit could be quite good, and the loyalty of characters is nice. But realistically, we need to trade in more grain, and I may need to trade in even more grain than this. Let's trade with Egypt. Okay, what next can I justify canceling to make more room? I really don't want to lose out on these spices because the output's so good, but I think I need to cancel the spices and trade in more grain as well. We need to get this under control. This is going to end up being 24 additional food from the 4 copies of grain we're trading in. We'll just trade with Egypt. And once we're out of January, we should start to get better food growth because we're in winter right now. So this should pretty soon go back into the positive. I'm probably going to run a high grain incoming trade situation for a bit here to fill up our stores. We have a lot of granary room in our food capacity because of all the granaries. Or I should say we have a lot of room in our capacity because of the granaries. So I should try to fill this up so that we don't have starvation again. It's fine to dip into, like, you know, not at full amounts during the wintertime, but if we're actually hitting starvation, that's a problem. So I need to actually make sure we're getting enough of a surplus. I should actually probably trade in 2 more grain just to really ensure we don't have huge issues here. I think the Freeman output's going to have to get going. Not comfortable trading away the happiness resources for anything other than tribesmen, but the Freeman output, I think, can justifiably be kicked off here. So let's trade once again with Egypt. All right. This should hopefully get things under control. It's not going to fix it for right now, but it will nearly get things back under control here. Right, let's go ahead and progress to January 5th, I believe, is the date. Here we go. So where's... yes. I don't have claims on them, do I? Shit, alright. I completely forgot. I, for some reason, thought that I had claims. God damn it. Alright, that is a bummer. We could just do some no CB wars. That is an option we have. It's not a very good option, but technically, with our very high stability, we could do a 50 stability drop just to get these guys killed. The alternative is waiting to get claims fabricated on both of them, because we don't have any way to get claims from our mission tree anymore that I can think of. This is going to require waiting multiple years to get enough PI and to get the claims. Okay, doing no CB wars on these guys is a very bad idea. It would be... There's not really any good justification for tanking our own stability like that. However, it should be noted, if I was ever to do 2 no CB wars just because I wanted to get this wrapped up and finally move, you know, out of this area onto other things, this would be the time to do it. We have no AE at all, we have no war exhaustion at all, and we have very high stability. 50 stability in these 2 declarations would bring us down to 25, which is still not as low as it can go, and 25 is something we can climb out of pretty, you know, efficiently. I'm just gonna go for it. I'm not recommending that anyone ever do this. This is not a good idea to do it like this. However, I'm in a position where this is doable, and I think I just want to get this thing over and done with. I'm annoyed that my, you know, work that I put in before to try to get these guys kept getting screwed up by Epirus and then by the Antigonas. I just want to get these tags off my goddamn peninsula and move on from here. So we're going to go for a very ill-advised double no CB war declaration. Our stability can handle it. Yep, I know what's going to happen, game. No need to double check with me. Alright, and then these guys too. Sorry, but also, they're buying some of my goods, but that's going to obviously stop happening. At least we got positive trend again. That's not so bad. Alright, let's just go for it. Kill these guys. Get this, you know, thing over with. This is not very min-maxy of me, but I just want to get this over with. I've been sitting around looking at these city-states for, like, decades, like, trying to kill them, and this is my chance, and I'm just going to go for it. Choices are being made, and that is just how it is. So, on we go. God, they're going to get away. What? Alright, hopefully we can catch these guys. I don't want to raise fort maintenance. I mean, fort maintenance was, I guess, raised on its own, so maybe it's fine. Maybe it's fine. No, no fort maintenance. We'll just catch them. We'll just catch them. I hope we can catch them. Alright. Down here, this should just be an assault. No need to get too fancy. Then we can just siege it with this guy. Assault it as well. Alright, the sacking of Hipponion. Appius Claudius Russus has led his men to glorious victory during the siege of Hipponion. The enemy flee in disgrace, and all that is left is to decide on how to treat the residents within. Needless to say, these spoils of war likely to cause those back in Roma to admire Appius greatly, but leaving such wealth in the hands of one man could cause problems in the future. None shall hide, I believe. Let's see. Yep, none shall hide. Come over here. Caught these guys up here, very good. Please just stack wipe them. That would make things a lot easier for me. Alright, that is at least a rare battle result W in a situation like that. Come down here. Once everybody's here, we'll just do an assault with everyone. Get this thing over with. We can also finish this war here. The first war of Roman aggression. Probably not going to be the first one, and the only one in this campaign. Sue for peace, just get these guys 1 AE, which is not that much, all things considered. We have to wait for the 1 month tick, so we'll do that on the 1 month tick. Alright, 10th of February. I think it was February 4th for this one. Yep. Alright, the Hipponian elite. After a protracted conquest, we have finally routed the Hipponian armies and laid waste their lands. During the sacking of their capital, many important prisoners were taken, many of them having previously held important positions in the Hipponian Bulle. They now languish in our dungeons, awaiting whatever fate we decide to impose upon them. I'm going to go ahead and just lose the AE. I don't need any more money, and the tyranny gain is not worth it at this stage with my economy. So, banish those to class, put the rest to the sword. Looks fine. And then incidentally, this place here, I'm going to go ahead and immediately start dismantling it. This can become a lumber camp, so let's go ahead and just actually make a fair bit of money destroying all these buildings, so that's quite nice. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and, just to get it out of the way, revoke city status. Alright, and then we will build a lumber camp here. We could do it right now, actually. I'll do this after all the wars are done, once I have both those territories to work with. There we go, so a little bloody situation here, but it had to be done. Bonnie agenda, end of tyranny. A large majority of the Senate has gathered around Appius Claudius Caecus, and asking for the end of the tyrannical tendencies of Appius Claudius Rufus and increasing the influence of the Senate. By the way, notice what's happening in this scenario. The Senate is teaming up with my co-consul to like make demands of me, which is I mean, it's also a majority of the Senate led by the Bonnie faction, which I'm a member of. Although I guess my co-consul is the leader of the faction, so I think he's still the leader. Yes, so got a little internal factional civil war going on here. A move like this would put our consul in a bad light, but the upper echelons of Roman society would appreciate it. I think this is actually worth doing, even though the PI loss is pretty severe. Popularity loss is a bummer, but he's going to be gaining popularity soon from war anyways, so this is fine. The Bonnie already have full approval. I don't want to lose 50 approval, and I do want to lose the tyranny, so this is actually completely fine. We will ease up on them for now. Alright, let's just merge these guys together and just do an assault. This should be completely fine. At the sacking of Croton, Appius Claudius Rufus has led his men to glorious victory during the siege of Croton. The enemy flee in disgrace, and all that is left is to decide on how to treat the residents within. Needless to say, these spoils of war likely to cause those back in the Roma to admire Appius greatly, but leaving such wealth in the hands of one man could cause problems in the future. This is probably a none shall hide situation. Let's double check. Yep, none shall hide. Alright, let's get this thing over with. Super peace. Probably the second war of Roman aggression is what this one is. I guess this is also the first war of Roman aggression because we declared them at the same time. Let's go ahead and get this taken. The Crotian elite. Great. I'm going to banish those of class. Right, lower the army before it can sap away more manpower from the reserves. Lower the army maintenance. Good. And as for Croton, as it's now called in Latin, I could keep this as the provincial capital. It is already built up, so there's an argument for that. But I think that Petelia is a better location. It's a better distance from Heraclea. And that's the main reason, honestly. It's nothing more complicated than that. With the pearls, I could actually build like a slave estate here to get more pearls, because pearls are kind of uncommon. Yeah, I want to demote this, honestly. Well, it is farmland on the river, on the ocean. Let me not demote it. Let me actually keep it as a city. Yeah, I could just also have a city in Petelia. Let me destroy the infrastructure here just to... Well, hold on. The assimilation I'm going to keep here because I'm going to assimilate these Greeks to become Roman. That's fine. The port can go down to level 1. And then the freeman districts can go for now. I'm going to decide on the ratio stuff for the city later. And then aside from that, what else do we have here? This is actually everything. Okay. So... Croton being a city is, I think, okay. I could actually just make it the capital, so the capital is in a fortified location. It is in a good location in the province with good control of this tile, of this ocean tile. I guess we could make it the capital. It's honestly probably okay. And even if there is now going to be this sort of fort gap right here, it's not the end of the universe, to be honest. Because they're going to get caught up in my fort network once they get onto the main part of the peninsula. And this area here doesn't have a lot of stuff here, so I think this is fine. We can just make this the capital, honestly. Although we can't at the minute because it has bad loyalty, but we will eventually. So Croton may end up being the capital. I may make it a tax city with a focus on slaves to get more copies of pearls, but we'll come back to that later. For now, we've stripped it down to its most essential parts, and we'll leave it alone for now. Right, we now have all of Italia and Magna Graecia under our control. All it costed us was everything, but we are going to have very good AE reduction. 0.54 will chew through that AE very fast, so honestly, the main downside was the stability, but we now have positive trend once again, and I will probably save up my PI. I mean, I have a ways to go, but I will save up my PI and go for Divine Sacrifice once I can. So that is that. Let's go ahead and resume. You can see how my score just tanked because my happiness collapsed across the board. Alright, this is want my stone. Yep. Sparta sailing around. Interesting. Pirates sailing around as well. That's fine. Should use my money for more buildings. Trade for stone. How's my food doing now? I mean, April is not the harvest season, so this should be kind of neutral, but only 41 is still pretty bad. Yeah, we need to definitely maintain our grain trade for now. This is non-negotiable. Although I will temporarily trade for stone from the sheep trade and get some more buildings going. Right, I could start rebuilding those citizen districts I destroyed earlier, which I think I should do. Let's get these under construction. And that's all we could do with those building slots. Over here, let's do the same thing, get these citizen districts built in Tiber. That's a 3 of 3. And then over in Waiti as well. We actually don't have enough for a third one, but we will get enough in a couple of months. So, oops, not on pause quite yet. Switch back over to sheep, and we proceed. Okay. Alright, now what we're waiting for is 28th of October of this year, and we should be able to get our new mission tree going. We've encouraged merchants in the province of Latium to invest more of their wealth in trade, reassuring them of the security of their outlays. Very good. Another trade route. Probably just more grain at the minute is what we need to have. We need to fill these stockpiles up. I don't want to have a repeat of any starvation here. It's going to really affect happiness and output across the board. Our military tradition is ready to go here. We could go for a build military road, which I think is only available for legions. I haven't seen it on levies, but we do also get army movement speed plus 10% from Roman roads, which I like from the Roman road tradition, and then the modifier is permanent. So that is pretty good. Often credited with winning entire wars, the practice of using the military to build roads, both in peacetime and in conflicts, was literally world-shaping. And 3 innovations as well is very good. All right. And then with these innovations / inventions, I wish that was more consistent. What could we go for? I probably want to shift back over towards getting towards cultural administration. This is a really important mid-game tech to get to. Yeah, I probably can't justify holding off from this. I have so many things I want to go for, but getting PI is always such a huge priority. All right, let's go in this direction. Graduated citizenship is pretty good as well. Pop promotion speed plus 20%. A series of levels, each denoting different rights and privileges, which can be attained by non-citizens in our nation. Ensure that there is a ladder to climb and that there is always something to work towards. All right. And then we want to go... We could go over and grab Petition of Minorities before we found any more cities. That would make things a lot cheaper, particularly on the PI, which is also discounted because the city cost is both the gold and the PI. This might be worth... And also the provincial loyalty is great to get to. This might be worth getting before we proceed towards this, although... If we go for this right now, we could get to this as soon as whenever this next one is happening, June of next year. I will probably use all my gold in the next couple years to focus on building buildings because of the bombing leadership. So let's actually hold off on this one for now, go straight for cultural administration. All right, Peregrini, unintegrated culture happiness 3% increase. By granting a specific status to outsiders, we can recognize them legally and domestically as members of our state, value notwithstanding. And then we can pick between citizen or freeman output. I think I probably want to go for citizen output at this point. Developed in eons past, the idea of a unified waste disposal architecture is still a lofty goal. Clean streets and public bathhouses are sure to increase the quality of living, and this is waste disposal infrastructure. All right. Now we're nearly to cultural administration. This is an amazing technology, but we need to wait until, let's see, yeah, June 487 or so. And then incidentally, the 20th of October. All right, we proceed. Manpower max has been hurt a lot by our much lower stability. All that happiness reduction on the freemen is what's causing this 10k manpower difference. It is what it is. Social stratification. The renovations of Roma are in some ways fundamentally reshaping the city, and not only through the addition of new quarters in and around the new buildings. Every part of the city has been given a new focus and a change of status. The commercial district has largely reoriented itself to support a new class of artisans, scribes, administrators, now that now make up a much larger part of the city's fabric, and even in the slums, a new social order is slowly materializing. As part of the wider works we are undertaking, we could extend the renovations to another part of the city itself. Ooh, okay, so we could pay a bunch of money to get a couple different modifiers. Some of these look pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. The local tax in particular would be amazing in Roma for a full 10 years. Roma by itself is paying how much, or is contributing how much in tax? 0.47 just from Roma, which is crazy to think about. Definitely a valuable city for tax. What are some comparisons to make? Yeah, it's definitely pretty good. Not as good as it could be because we have the bigger focus on citizens and nobles. Pop promotion speed would be amazing as well to get even more citizens, nobles, and freemen. We're still able to get up to more citizens, and the slaves here can still keep promoting. Although they're not likely to because there's still slave room. We could also just get the loyalty from all of the family heads. Although it's only for 5 years. Actually, of all these modifiers for just the city of Roma, I think we don't need, because the pop promotion speed isn't as amazing in Roma, where we already have so many of our higher tier pops. The slaves aren't, like the slaves have rooms, so there's actually not promotion up from slaves anymore in the Roma itself. So let's say that this project is expensive enough, and leave it at that. Got to make these calls based on the facts on the ground, you know. All right. Our lowest loyalty areas are trending up, so that's good. Let's keep building back up to 0 PI. It's going to take a while. All right. I'm very excited to see if I get a mission tree for Cisalpine Gaul. That's really my preferred direction of expansion because it's so natural for my current, borders. But if I have to go into Greece, that's fine. If I have to go into Africa, that's fine. We'll just see what we can do. I might just grit my teeth and get claims myself, but that's on at least like 6 tags, probably more. I guess 7 tags at the minimum. Yeah. Ugh. This is going to be expensive on PI, but we'll see what we can do here. Sometimes which mission tree you get is just kind of out of your control. And I could, go into Greece. There's a lot of chaos happening over here, so I don't think the Antigonids or the Antipatrids are very strong right now. I could easily take them out. Alright, nearly there. We do have some more building slots now in Roma because of these modifiers we've gotten. And I should probably, after the monthly tick, do a bit more construction down here. Alright, switch out the sheep for, we got really good food now. Now that we're in the harvest season, we're in September, so this is only temporary, but we're stocking it up. Alright, switch out for stone and get some more buildings going in Roma. Let's see here. What do I want? I could build up more fort level, but I don't think that's really needed. If I'm in a situation where Roma is being sieged, I'm already in trouble for a lot of other reasons. I could get, let's see, Shrine wouldn't do a ton because the population here is generally, well, maybe not now anymore, but they're generally so happy. Could just get more aqueducts, to be honest. Could just get more aqueducts. Commercial district could be really good as well, because the trade routes are based off populations. This would really have a good exponential effect. Could be a good idea. Could also go for more conscription camps. This is a lot of manpower from just this. Let me just build more aqueducts, to be fully honest. I think that's the most important thing right now. I guess just one is all I can build. Next month I can build one more, so let's switch back over to sheep for one more month. Right, and then we progress. Just Roma needs to keep growing. That is a big priority. Titus Claudius died at the age of 37. He was the tribune of the plebs and a brother of the co-consul of Rome and a brother of the consul of Rome. Great, because our 2 consuls are brothers, aren't they? Yeah. It's a big age gap, but they are technically brothers, so fun fact about that. Okay. We need a tribunus plebis. Probably Gotigus would be fine for this. He is in want of an office, probably, so let's put him in there. Looks fine to me. Very good statesmanship, of course, because he was consul before, so lots of civ change. Works for me. Alright. Let's go ahead and the monthly tick. Switch it back over. Districts are being finished. Alright, October 1st. Switch back over to stone. Let's trade with whoever, it doesn't matter. And then get another aqueduct queued up in Roma. And we can get a third one, or I guess a fourth one as well, once we have more money, but we'll come back to that later. Okay. And this will be finishing October 28th, so that's going to be pretty good. And then we will take a look and see what our new mission trees are, so we can decide how we're going to make use of the rest of this martial consulship. The coming of Roma. Never before has the streets of Roma been as clean and its gardens as well kept. The marble form and temples now make it immediately apparent that this is not just a city, but also the very center of a major power, an urban expression of splendor and wealth. Roma is now a city of marble. 2 nobles appear, presumably Roman Hellenistic nobles, and Roma gains forum complexes, 2 more buildings, city building slots, 15% research points for the whole game, and 10% civ level for the whole game. Very good indeed. It's going to take a monthly tick to update, but that's going to be quite nice. All right. Hold on just a second. Okay, sorry about that. Where were we? We had just reached the end of the Pearl of Italia mission tree, that's right. And I think I was about to go ahead and finish the mission. Honestly, I don't remember exactly what I was doing. But that looks to be where we are, so let's do just that. Okay. Alright, so we have got subduing Greece, which I noted before. Annexing all of Greece, so that's one direction we could go in. Punic rival, conquer or subjugate Carthage, and stabilize and grow Magna Graecia. Create a core of loyal subjects in Neapolis. That doesn't sound like what I want to do whatsoever. Is this subject states, or does it mean loyal subjects in the kind of abstract sense, like, you know, your subjects that are loyal? I don't want to be dealing with like feudatories down here. I already own all this. So because I don't know exactly what this mission tree entails and it would cost stability to back out of it, I think we gotta go for one of these. So no Cisalpine Gaul mission tree for me. Wah. That sucks. But what direction to go in here? So, as I said before, it probably makes more sense to go for Greece, because these guys will be Hellenistic, which should make controlling this territory a lot easier. These guys are Punic. Like, I guess this one tile's Hellenic, but these guys are rather not Punic. Punic's their culture. They are Punic, but they are Canaanite is their religion. So going into Carthage feels a bit more interesting, but I do think going into Greece is the smarter move, and I think this will be the direction we go in. I don't have any PI to get claims in Cisalpine Gaul. I think this is the way we go, and I do think it is Greece the region. I don't know if this means also Macedonia, which is part of the Greek area, but not part of Greece the region. I guess we'll see. But subduing Greece. The people of Greece were long known for their civilization, their many city-states, and the many wondrous thoughts and ideas that they inspired. After the rise of Alexander, they have been driven apart and fallen upon harsh times, mere specters of the prominent position they once held at the center of the Mediterranean. This mission will be considered complete when we have annexed all of Greece. Well, at least we can start getting ourselves some rewards here for our existing claims on the Antigonids. Here we go. Okay, so we have a couple of options here. Freedom first. We could proclaim ourselves the liberators of Greece, giving us all claims on a bunch of regions in Greece that, if they're held by, let's see here. So Attica is the Athens area. Achaia is the sort of Elis area over here. Boeotia is north of the Athens area. Euboea is the island over here, and Arcadia. So basically everything in southern Greece that isn't the Spartan areas of Laconia, or I mean Laconia rather. Could send an emissary to the Illyrians. We'd have to do that in order to get to this. So we have to get an Illyrian nation to have a 15 opinion of me holding coastal territory. Okay, so our options are basically Dalmatia or Liburnia, and that's it. I guess, is in Subrier counting? No, that's Dalmatia over here. But Dalmatia holds territory on... Oh, wait, no, hold on. I'm looking at the provinces. It's just Dalmatia or Pieria, so I was looking at the provinces still. I guess these guys don't count. These guys are Illyric, so interesting. But, 15 opinion of Rome, the region of Illyria. I guess this is doable. So just to double check. Coastal territories in the region of Illyria. I mean, the region of Illyria includes this stuff here, but the thing only highlights these areas. I guess Dalmatia is fine, although they do not like me at all because of my AE and my declined military access, which they're very upset about. I'd give it to you now if you wanted it. I guess we just gotta improve opinions with them. We could ally with them to get a big opinion boost really fast, then just break the alliance right away. That's one way we might go about this. So what does this give me here? This will finishes this, so that's what matters. Sends an emissary to them. This one here owns every territory along the coast from Apollonia, Epidamnon to Rezon. This is doable. Oh, hold on. This puts us into the Illyria. So, okay, so this is not just about Greece, the region. This is about Greece, like the greater area, so that's good to know. We'll have to have Greek, or rather a Greece, a Macedonia, and an Illyria, possibly also a Moesia Superior governor as well. So lots of governors incoming here. Oh, this is going to be complicated, but that is fine. Found a Colonia over here. Okay, and then this one, we actually need to have more light ships for this one to go, so that's kind of funny. We may do this, maybe not. The extra naval maintenance cost would be quite nice. I'm not sure if I need to build that many light ships, so we'll come back to that later. This one was for having the Illyria Graecae province owned by me, or by a subject. Found a colonial over there. This puts us into Moesia Superior. We're going to be going into so many regions here. Holy moly. Okay. This all looks pretty standard. Holy crap. All right. This is all required, though, to get down here. Peloponnesian. So the Peloponnesian stuff happens last. Okay, over on this side, we should just get to work on this, I think. Actually, can I complete a mission with a mission that's in progress? I'm not sure about that. Let me just go ahead and do my little alliance plan to get the opinion with Dalmatia really fast. They're completely at peace. We should be able to ally with them and then just break the alliance right away once their opinion of me gets high enough. So we're going to have to wait for monthly tick for that to happen. So we'll wait to start this until the monthly tick. And we get this complete. Although this does also take 180 days. I just want to get this over with. Also, I probably have to maintain the opinion for that time, don't I? Alright, so let's just keep looking at the mission tree here. This one gives us claims. So we actually could just go to war right away without waiting to get all the claims, because we already have claims on Antigonans. We could just immediately go to war. And then we could just do this mission tree kind of trailing behind our actual, military actions. Alright, so this is just for owning all the islands. This one here is for... What does this require? This requires us to befriend all the Greek minor nations. I don't really care about this. Let's just conquer everything. Okay. Fortunately, very, very, very fortunately, one corner of the earth the Egyptians haven't reached yet is Greece. So we can... If we can get in here to take this up before the Ptolemaics get their grubby hands on it, that's going to save us a massive headache. Ptolemaics definitely have a dominion over Asia at this point, the Asian area, so we are going to not probably proceed further east at the minute, but this at least doesn't involve any Ptolemaics. We have to kick out the... ironically, all the territories noted here don't include the Antipatrid territories, so... But we will probably end up fighting the Antipatrids anyways. Alright, then we do this one. This puts us down here. I probably want to just integrate everything. Yeah, okay, so we have ourselves a basic plan here. So we're going to have to deal with this Illyrian stuff. Unfortunately, this Illyrian stuff is required to progress through here anyway, so we have to befriend the Illyrians. It's not an option, so we'll try to befriend Dalmatia. I may as well. I didn't really look at them too closely, whether any of these guys are better or worse for any particular reason. May as well just be friends with them. It's not that big of a deal. Right, so we'll wait for the monthly tick. In the meantime, though, we could just go to war with the Antigonids basically at will. They're distracted fighting the Antipatrids and their clients at the minute, although they're about to win, so maybe we wait until they win so that we can also get that territory, although that's probably getting a bit ambitious if we want to go that far. I probably want to focus on getting the stuff that my mission tree wants me to get. We could also target Illyria Graecae, which one of our early missions wants us to control, so that will be solid. Dalmatia actually wouldn't join for this. So Antigonids bring in all of their feudatories and their allies Sparta, which this should be fine, but this is still a pretty large-scale war. I gotta, proceed here carefully. We should have more than enough manpower for our needs, and we're going to be recovering manpower during the war, so this should be fine. In terms of the naval situation, is there any reason to think I'm not going to have naval supremacy with my 60 ships? I think I probably will. Antagonids I only have 24. How about these guys, like the Islanders? 4. There's going to be like, a mix here and there, but I don't think so. Maybe in total they may have around 60 ships if all of their feudatories all have a couple ships, but probably not. And even still, they're not going to coordinate very well. So we should be okay to proceed with our current naval strength. So here's another question. Okay, my levy is ready to go, so that's good to see. I guess the question is there any reason to not go to war right now? Or go to war once we're in position to land, I should say technically. But I think we should just go for it. I want to get the most out of my High Marshal, and my follow-up, Africanus, has even better marshals, so we can continue the war if it's still ongoing. Don't think it will still be ongoing, though, by the time we get to 490, so I think this is going to be fine. I think we go for it. Let's go ahead and get ready to go and get going. We can make a lot of money from this war as well. From sacking, we can reinvest it into our core. Okay, so first things first. Let me get my ships all over here to pick up my army, because at this point our main levy is 44 cohorts, so we need both of our navies to carry them over. Then we'll pick up the Magna Graecian levy as we pass through Magna Graecia, and that should be fine. Although I guess one other question is, do I want to do some sort of complicated strategy with landing? I probably want to keep my armies largely consolidated, as the Antagonids, they don't have a ton of forces, 303 Macedonians versus 640 Romans, but the Antagonids do still have a sizable army, and with all their feudatories helping out, I probably don't want to stretch myself too thin here. I don't want to get too creative. I might just do maybe 2 landing forces. I think I can probably manage that. I want to land and sack Ambracia right away. Oh, they moved the capital from here. And they moved it back to Passaron. All right, so, but I do want to sack Ambracia right away. Actually, hold on. Let me think about this. I want to land and do some sacks. So these cities here are way too small to care about. Corcyra is near the verge of being worth sacking. I may leave Corcyra. I do want to sack Phoenike and Ambracia before I go to Passaron and get that. Once I siege Passaron, I won't be able to sack these cities anymore because they'll be occupied automatically. So I think that is probably fine. We get Passaron. There's no forts around here, which is good and bad. It's going to make, like the fort coverage situation up here is dire. And a lot of it's held by the Antipatrids, ironically. So, yeah, these guys have not kept their fort game in tip-top condition here, to say the least. Right, so I think landing in Ambracia and landing the other force at, let's land it up here, actually, at Epidamnos. Yeah, we get this under control, because this will be the war target. And then the force in Epidamnos can probably just safely move in this direction over here to Elamea, which I do want to sack. I think 10 population or above is worth going on my way to sack. Anything less than that I'm going to strategically just not bother with. I also really want to sack some of these cities over here. Pydna with its, actually no, the Wonders in Methane. But Pydna is a sizable city. Sacking Thessaloniki would be awesome. This is a huge city. And if they manage to conquer the Antipatrids, although there's still stuff down here, there's an argument for waiting for them to finish their war with the Antipatrids so I get more territories to sack. But them being distracted also gives me a strategic edge. And there are some pretty big cities, like Amphipolis is completely vulnerable. Thessalonica, as noted earlier. I'd be missing out on Pella, and what else? I guess Stowboy is a bit large, but these 3 cities down here are pretty good as well. Larissa, Pharsalos, Pherai. I can still get to Lamia, though. All right, I think we got our basic plan here. Let's get our ships organized, raise our levy, and have them just regain morale on the trip over, and then we'll pick up the Magna Graecian levy as the boats are moving through the area. But I will go ahead and increase army maintenance and fleet maintenance. Shouldn't need fort maintenance in this war at all. Once I land my forces, I'm going to use my navy to try to track down and kill the Antigonid navy, and just sort of like play, guard duty in the strait. I think that's the plan there. I'll have to remember to lower fort maintenance when going to war re-raises it automatically, so we'll worry about that later. Okay, let us proceed. Ready for some revenge on the Antigonids. I'm blaming them for that 50 stability hit I took earlier, even though that was a choice that I made all by myself. I would not have had to do that if they hadn't screwed up my entire thing with Epirus earlier, so I'm blaming them because I am a unreasonable and spiteful person on occasion, though only on occasion. All right, how does Dalmatia feel about me now? I have to actually do more work than this. Let me improve relations. Actually, let me just bribe them. I guess the alliance and the bribe should be enough. Let me bribe them on 27th of November. That should let me start that mission. All right. Send a gift. There we go. And now, here we go. To negotiate with the Illyrians. So we're going to have to wait half a year. Once this is done, I'm just going to break the alliance with Dalmatia. I don't care about Dalmatia at all, and they're going to get me involved in stupid wars with the other Illyrians, so... Alright, the people of Illyria are infamous pirates and raiders who have brought pain and misery to most cities along the Adriatic Sea at one point or another. If we are to bring peace to our lands, we are going to have to come to an agreement with these warlike barbarians. Yeah, dealing with the Illyrians. But the Romans have to, you know, take these actions for the good of the Republic. That's their excuse, at least. That's my excuse, at least, I really should say. Our trade with the Bosphorans, sure. These guys are almost there. 6th of December. We'll get raised up and get going. Alright, so I will have to merge the ships together to transport everybody. Actually, no, I won't. I can split the army, and then I won't have to merge the ships. Alright, 22k force right here. That's crazy. 4 donkeys. That's pretty good. Gonna have double supply trains for each army force. That's quite nice. Let me put the spearmen in front and the heavy infantry in the back. There we go. Split you in half. So each of you should be able to get on one of the 2 fleets just fine. There we go. Perfect. That works great. Then we'll just add the... actually, what I might do is I might split the Levy of Magna Graecia and send them each with each of the 2 guys as well. This guy here does not have enough marshal to overtake the marshal of the consul, so this should be completely safe. In fact, let me just raise... I'm just going to pick them up in the Regium as I pass by, to be honest. I'll just march them on. I could have the ships... Actually, I'll have them stop in Crotone and pick them up there. That's going to be faster. Split you in half, and then we'll have each of you join one of the 2 ships. Maybe a little complicated, but let us come around here like this and get to it. All right, go into war once again. And this is pretty good quality land. At least some of it is. At least it's the same religion as me, so it'll be a little bit easier to maintain. Anything that is going to help with our currently low stability, it's going to be quite welcome. All right, in we come. 12th of January. All right. Okay, so you get on one of these ships. You get on one of these ships, and then you guys head for Epidamnos. You get on the other ship, and you get on the other ship. You guys head for Ambracia. And then we'll sack Ambracia, go probably sack Fianiki. I'll probably actually sail over, because it'll take a long time to walk through the hills. Then we'll walk from there to Passaron. I'll just leave Kokaira. I think I've sacked it before, actually, and it's not very high population, so not worth it. Anything where you're under 10 population at this stage in the campaign, I'm probably not going to bother sacking under most circumstances, but I leave myself the chance to do that if I want to. Also, we do have enough splendor to get a modifier here, and these modifiers are permanent game-long modifiers, and I have tested in a previous campaign. They do not stack, so I'm not going to be making that mistake again. And in terms of what I would want to get here, the ones that I have available, they're just the generic ones. Let's see here. So we could go for a permanent found city cost modifier reduction, 5%. That could be pretty good to get early on. Aggressive expansion impact, minus 10%. That might also be pretty good to get early on, although we have a lot of AE reduction thanks to our high tyranny. Legion maintenance cost will eventually be good. For now, it's not that valuable. It just affects mercenaries and pirate fleets. Mercenary and pirate fleet maintenance reduction. This does affect mercenaries, right? I think it does. Anyways, mercenary and pirate fleet maintenance reduction is also obviously going to affect mercenaries. Pop conversion speed, although we're about to conquer territory that doesn't need more, this adds plus 0.05 to every tile. So locations that don't have any base pop conversion will get the plus 0.05 because this is a national modifier. And because conversion speed is a tile-based modifier, territory-based modifier, this is a lot stronger than it seems because every single territory gets the benefit of this, right? So you have to think about when you're weighing the strength of different modifiers, what is it actually affecting? If it's on the tile level, right? Because this national modifier sort of occurs on every tile simultaneously. This means that across all of our like hundreds of tiles, this modifier is being put to use, as opposed to something like this, which is only going to happen when we have mercenaries. So, and this one here lets us get additional pops when we make a colony. Colonization isn't a big part of this campaign at the minute, so I think we go for convincing conversions. I think this is probably going to be our best value at the minute. Our prophets and seers have been blessed with the gift of divine communication, opening hearts to the correct ways of worship. There we go. And yeah, we aren't able to do a golden age still because we don't have enough of these things. Although Force of Poseidon is doable basically at will. Great power status, how far away are we from this? 500 territories. We're pretty far away, 187 territories. We're not getting to great power anytime soon. Getting to major power was kind of crazy to do it that fast, but there are a lot of tiles in the peninsula, so it kind of makes sense. But great power is really quite a ways away. Getting a metropolis, that is definitely in the cards here, though, to be sure. And all roads lead to Rome. The road part we can get to pretty soon once we have Civic 5. We already have the 10 incoming for sure, and we could get to the 10 outgoing if we cancel, or rather if we allow some of our grain and latium to be traded away. We might be able to get enough, but I might struggle to pull that one off. The Academy one we may be able to do in a bit here. We have this one already. Yeah, so we'll see. I'm not really... I sort of need to do more research. I need to go on the Discord and look how... The Terra Indomita Discord, which, by the way, I recommend everyone join because you can get some great information on there. You can find it on the Steam page, I believe, for Terra Indomita. But I need to look on the Terra Indomita Discord to see how Golden Ages work mechanically, because if you can do a Golden Age, like, in each age, that would be great. But it might be the case that you can do one Golden Age in the whole campaign. And I probably want to wait to do it until I'm a bit stronger. I don't need the boost in the early game necessarily, so we'll see about that. But for now, we proceed. All right, our armies are already at full morale. I could actually go up to increased army morale, which honestly I think I will do just to be on the safe side. It's not worth too much more in terms of our economy. Manpower is going to take a hit from all the freemen being mad, but that's fine. I want to make sure we're not messing around here. All right, these guys have arrived. Let's wait for the monthly tick, and then we will go for it. Okay. Here we go. Declare war on Antigonids. Dalmatia would join. Do I want to call Dalmatia in? Not really, honestly. I think I'll just leave them out of this one. I don't need Dalmatia's help, and they're just going to, cause me grief. They give the Antigonids a nice, reachable, like, by land target that they can, or I guess by sea, technically, but they shouldn't be reaching anything by sea. So Dalmatia is just my ally for the reasons I talked about earlier. Let's go for it. We can also, by the way, sack a lot of these city-states that are quite vulnerable. They do have a lot of forts down here. Greece is very heavily fortified. I think I commented about that before. So the target is Illyria Graecae. We'll come and grab Epidamnos right away. And we will get to it here. All right. War with the Antigonids. Here we go. Time for some revenge. All right. Immediately I'm going to turn off fort maintenance because the game loves turning on fort maintenance when you're in war. If I need... So I should be able to hold back the forces of Greece with my navies as long as I'm paying attention. So we're going to play this very carefully. Not going to call in my allies. Oh yeah, that's increasing up. All right. You guys get following. Yes, this looks fine. Oops. Just to be... Actually, we don't even have... Put the light infantry first. Put the heavy infantry behind. Okay, you guys land here. These guys probably don't have a large levy, but they may raise a levy as we arrive. They're not going to have a 13.5k levy over here. There's no way, so we should be fine to do that. You also do the same thing, light infantry, heavy infantry, allow attachment, and then you attach, and then you land in Ambracia. Oh, there are the Antigonids right there. Well, we have a chance for a pretty good fight here to kill... Who is this? Oh, this is a legion, actually. Okay. I'm assuming this is the legion of Greece or of Macedon. I don't know which one. I don't know if there's a way for me to see which one it's coming from. Basilike Taxis. I think that's just a custom name. When did they get here? 12th of February. We could do an attack here, but with the numbers here, I don't really want to take a fight with that bad, because they'll be landing into hills. Let me go ahead and just go straight to Ambracia. They're not going to be able to get there in time, and then we could try to bait a good fight in good terrain. I'm fine to let them go back and retake Ambracia. I'll get back on my ships, sail over to Phoenike, and then come in to get Passeron, and then I'll kill them somewhere. But we need to keep an eye on this. If these guys get a lot of their feudatories or other levies or legions teaming up with this force, we may have to concentrate our armies or hire mercs, but hopefully it doesn't come to that. We shall see. Still maintaining nearly 20 gold in wartime with this stuff turned on. That's pretty good. We're at 6th of February for these guys. Alright, here we go. Alright, here is their levy of Greece. So these guys are coming from Macedon. We have a... Actually, this is the Spartan levy of Greece, who is up here for some reason. Incidentally, we actually could catch them. Let me kill the Spartan levy. That would be a huge relief. Sparta has not a lot of forces, like Sparta's a small nation, but they do have a lot of morale and discipline bonuses, so if I can kill their forces before they can join a larger army and start lending over their morale bonus to the total morale, that would be great. The discipline would only apply to their forces, though, but that's fine. All right, these ships I'm going to have go down and sort of start getting involved down here. I don't think I need these ships up here, because I'm going to have this force kill this army, come back, grab Epidomnus, and then just sort of start walking through the mountains to go over into this area. You guys come down here and try to figure out where the Antigonid Navy is. Where's their capital at the minute? Okay, the capital's at Lamia, which I guess makes sense. I'm suspecting their navy is over here. So, one of my fleets on its own should be able to kill the Antigonid Navy. Although, if it's teamed up with other feudatory navies, we're going to have trouble. So let me just bring my ships together and move my ships as a team, my fleets as a team, for now, just to be on the safe side. Never hurts to play it very safe. Also, you notice, by the way, even though I'm technically in this sea tile, because this is one large sea tile, I'm not blocking the strait because they control both sides of the strait. That's how a strait movement works. I've learned this by now after a long time of not knowing how it works. I'm going to catch those guys over there. Alright, here we go. We will just start taking this. This battle should go perfectly fine. This battle has gone perfectly fine. And then keep the ships here because I have to transport those guys in just a second. Battle of Damelon. Alright, we did not stack wipe them, unfortunately, but we did damage them quite a bit. They're going to run off. And I'm just going to, I'm going to go back over to Epidomnus. Now, these ships stay here for a few more days. Then we're going to sail into Ambracia and pick up the troops. Alright, sacking of Ambracia. Appius Claudius Russus has led his men to glorious victory during the siege of Ambracia. The enemy fleeing disgrace, and all that is left is to decide on how to treat the residents within. Needless to say, these spoils of warlick that causes back in Roma to admire Appius greatly, but leaving such wealth in the hands of one man could cause problems in the future. Alright, this is probably a none shall hide situation, almost for sure. Yes, none shall hide. Kill those Talantians, I suppose, is who's living here. Although, we're killing Talantians, even though it should be Epirotes that we're killing. But, oh well. It is what it is. Alright, let's go pick up the army. I want to try to catch these guys in possibly a sneaky like landing where I defend. I might be able to pull that off. Landings can be quite quick. Let's see what we can do here. Otherwise, I'm fine just to let them come up here and not be able to kill that army. What's the Legion leader? 6 Marshal? Look at this Legion composition. I just noticed this. Look at this composition, by the way. What is this composition? 2 archers, 2 heavy cav, 4 heavy infantry, 5 horse archers, 2 light infantry, 4 spearmen, a donkey, and 1 elephant? What is this? The Antigonids have got, like, the galaxy brain meta. Like, it's just like, throw everything in there, let's just see what happens. Alright, let's trade off our goods here. We're 4th of March for that. That's going to be nice and quick. Alright, they're coming back over. This might be pretty good, actually. Get on the boats. On the boats. You guys come out here. 9th of March. I think we're going to be able to pull something off here. Trade with Gallon. That's fine. Alright, 11th of March. They're going to get here in time. I'm going to come to Casope and hope they keep moving in there. They may get there before me, which could be a problem. Once we get to 11th of March, we'll see what their movement is. I want to try to force them into an offensive fight in the hills, if I can. I just want to get this army defeated and running away somewhere else so it's not roaming around over here. Because it's going to recover the provincial capital if I leave. So I need to kill this army before I leave this area. Still no sign of the Imperator. Okay, here's the navy of one of their forces. One of their feudatories, Gallii. That's fine. These smaller feudatories could send invasion forces if I'm not paying attention, so I need to pay attention. Maybe worth paying my fort maintenance just to be on the safe side. It's not worth a ton to keep them unpaid for. Alright, you know what? I probably shouldn't be playing around. With all these feudatories, there could be a navy that slips by without me noticing. I'll just pay for my forts. It's really not that much, and I'm gonna lose my mind if they naval invade me, and because of the fort maintenance thing, I get screwed over. So let's just these guys aren't staying here. I'll take a non-landing attack into hills with an army size of this difference, and with all the martial difference. Even with the weird composition, this should be fine. This might not be a super clean fight, but I should win this fight. Let's see, 4.12, 4.11. Morale's basically even, so let's go for it. With the numbers and the martial difference, the even morale means that we should win this. Once these guys land, I'm going to have... Then they'll just walk over to Phoenike on land. I'll have my navies depart the area and start sort of heading south and just looking for navies to kill, if we can. We've got a lot of naval power, and I want to make sure that I'm using it. I could send a navy up to try to catch this navy, but it's going to be, like, impossible to catch up here. So we'll just... Although there's an argument for keeping my navies in this area, any pathing that the AI does to navally invade me or move navies around this direction should move through these tiles because they're faster. So keeping my navies around this area where any movement towards the peninsula should move through here is not a terrible idea. I guess we'll see what ends up making sense once we get a bit further in here. Okay, they're going to actually go over to the mountains. That's pretty smart of them. We'll see what they do once we arrive here. Epidomnos is 1. Good. Didn't end up sacking it, I guess, but that's fine. Okay, now that we got that, that's the war target. You guys, I think, just want to head straight for our Nissa. Not you guys, you specifically, with him following. What's the problem? This count? Oh, this is occupied by the Antigonans. I guess their occupied fort covers their territory? Is that true? Huh. I don't think I've ever seen this before. The Antipatrid fort, which at a base level is neutral in this war, occupied by the Antigonans, acts as an Antigonid fort for fort coverage. Okay, that is not a huge problem. Although I can't move here, and I'm not sure I can actually siege this because this is a different war. We may have a problem here. As for access? Am I allowed to siege this? This is a hostile fort for me. If I can't siege this, my plans just got a lot more complicated because I thought I'd be able to move through here pretty freely. Antigonans may not end their Antipatrid war now that they're, stuck in with me. So let's see what we can do over here. If we can't siege this, we can at least just move through here. So I guess it works out either way. I guess I don't know. If I can move through the Antipatrid land, but the Antigonid fort coverage still counts in their land, how does that work exactly? I have a lot of questions about it. This is a weird situation with fort movement, but we'll worry about this later. All right, 18th of March, we arrive. I think... Oh, hold on. I don't know who gets here first. Even if we get here second, this is still probably a good fight to take, and the chance we get here first is very tempting. You can see that, I think we got a movement bonus earlier. That's helping us out here. Okay, they canceled. That means that I got there first, which means I can now catch them here in the hills. Mission accomplished in a roundabout manner. All right, we're going to catch them in the hills. A hills fight is fine under these circumstances, so this is going to be 27th of March. Here we go. Battle of Turin, the first major battle of the Rome-Antigonid War. Here we go. All right, citizen destruction, Waii and Lawinium and Tiber is done. That's fine. Alright, as expected, their weird composition is not going to save them. Also, I should have moved my boats before now, but let me do that now. I guess let me just sort of scout down here and see what's going on. Let me send one of you... Let me hold down this tile for a sec. Let me send one of you into this, the Corinthian Sea to go sort of look around and see what's going on. Probably most of their feudatories are keeping their navies in port, because the AI does... Oh! Okay, the Antigonids just automatically took that. So what's going on with this, by the way, on the screen is that because I have the successor... what's it called? The Succession War instant CB mechanic from Invictus active, these wars between the successor kingdoms have like instant occupations sometimes. So this is just gave me a lot more territory to come sack, so works for me. Fortunately, the one that I'm fighting here is the one winning this war, so this shouldn't screw up my plans here in any meaningful way. All right. That's a pretty good result. We killed a little under double what we lost, and they are going to get sent running. Looks like they're going to Passeron, which is amazing, because that's where I'm going to. I hope that's where they're going. They may be going up to Finiki, but they should be going to a provincial capital. They might be going all the way up to Arnissa, in which case I can just catch them up there, so that is going to be fine either way. Let's just go straight to Passeron. I'm not going to bother going for this, because I want to catch them here if that is where they're going. I might be able to stack wipe this legion, which would bring joy to my cold little heart, if that could be what happens. All right. 12th of April. Okay, they're just going back south. I don't know where they're going. I guess they just are... Maybe they're going to Thermos? Oh, whatever. I'll get Passeron, then we'll just sort of proceed southward with that army. Okay, we are able to siege this. Okay. This is interesting. I guess if we siege this, does this return to Antipatrids? Because I'm not at war with the Antipatrids. Okay. I'm going to just siege this. It's not fully garrisoned. I think when I complete this, it's returned, which is fine. I just want to get movement through here. And they may end the war with the Antipatrids, who they now have fully occupied. And this will just become a regular fort they control, so I guess we'll see what happens with that. Alright, in the meantime, this looks fine. As expected, no navies in sight. Oh, hold on. Oh, that's Epidaur, so I'm not at war with them. Let's bring these guys southward and start looking. Actually, let me bring them together and move them as a group. 16th of April. I'm going to have this naval doom stack just kind of roam around the Aegean sort of area, looking for navies to fight. Let's put the caveman in charge and have this guy follow. Yeah, this looks good. All right, down we come. Let's see what we can find down here. I'm not expecting to find too much, but you never know. Maybe some surprise naval battles. And nothing the enemy has should be able to stand up to 40 Hexarays and 20 Liburnians, and led by 11 Marshal Admiral as well. All right, we proceed. Also, I should start spending my money. I need to do a better job of reinvesting my money during the war, as opposed to just waiting to the end. So let me do some more building projects. We want to make full use of the Bonnie leadership while we can here. Trade for some more stone. All right. We already got the citizen district here. We can build one more over here, and we can build two here. We can build a third one soon. All right. Switch back over from stone to sheep. All right. I do need to put some more work into getting more food. We're at a point now with the size of Latium that it really is kind of reaching a food crisis point, so I need to invest a bit more in the food here, but I need to worry about that later. Actually, what I could do... Let me come back to it once I have more money to look with, so let's just proceed after making sure we... Okay, good, sheep is back. All right. Come grab this, and then we'll just head south and see what we can get up to. I could have... Okay, as expected, Antigonids just took everything. So this honestly makes things a lot easier for me because it's all just Antigonid stuff now, which means it's all fair game. So glad that cleared that up. But I think this means the Antipatrids are dead forever, unless they're alive in some random spot somewhere. Let me see if I can find them in the ledger. I'm just kind of curious, honestly. All right. That's the Migrator tribe. Antipatrids, do you will. Are you alive still? Nope. They are tag deleted. Goodbye, Macedon. Okay, well, the cursed in this campaign, the Antigonids have gone on quite the journey. We've got I've never seen Antigonids take over Macedon like this, but here we are. We're fighting Antigonid Macedon. It is what it is. All right, so we'll just leave these guys sieging. I want their morale and their numbers to recover before I do anything too complicated, and we'll get that under control. No need to go crazy with assaults. Since I'm outside my own territory, my ability to recover my manpower well is going to be limited. It may behoove me to come actually just blockade the navies in Lamia if they're there. Let me go see if they're there. Yeah, let's just see. Sacking of Passaron. Very good. Alright, Appius Claudius Russus has led his men to glorious victory during the siege of Passaron. The enemy flee in disgrace, and all that is left is to decide on how to treat the residents within. Needless to say, these spoils of war likely to cause those back in Roma to admire Appius greatly, but leaving such wealth in the hands of one man could cause problems in the future. Oh, none shall hide. For real, for real. Alright, trade with the boss, or no, not the Bosphorans, similar flag. The Ariarathids. Alright. Okay. You guys, let's see here. I could come and sack Andrakia again, but I think that's a little uncalled for. Let us head for Theramus. And actually, you know what? Let's see. Actually, let's come down to, let's see here, 12th of May. Let me actually keep my navies a bit further back. I want to use them to transport the army and speed this up. So let's head down to Cassiope, and then we'll board the ships and actually get carried over to now Pactos to come up to Thermos like that. Then Lamia is completely unfortified, so we can just go over there right away. It's going to be nice and simple. How's this mission going, by the way? It's almost done. 26th of May. We'll take a look at the mission tree after the mission's done, just so we're not dealing with any issues with that. Oh, hello, Macedon. Wait, hold on. Macedon? Oh! Antipatrid's form Macedon. Ah, it just hadn't updated yet. Okay. Well, I guess Antipatrid Macedon really is what's happening here. Antigonid, not Antipatrid. I've been mixed up now. Alright, so, whatever. Now we're fighting Macedon. It's fine. The war is not cancelled, I hope, on the monthly tick. If the war is cancelled, I will be mildly disappointed. No, I'm just kidding. I'll be very disappointed. Alright, game. Don't screw me. This would be the third time the Antigonids had, like, canceled a war that I was in, or something like that. Like, it's getting a little ridiculous. So let's, come on. No nonsense, please. This is just a formation thing. This doesn't change their tag. Don't do anything funny here. Alright, these guys are going to come back and get the war target, but I can just return over. I can even break the siege or leave a skeleton crew. In fact, yeah, once these guys make their way through here, I'm just going to leave a skeleton crew once they're not in a position to come and kill the crew. I'll then just go back over and kill them before they get to Epidomnos. That should be completely fine. You guys just wait here for a sec. 25th of May, we'll board. Actually, hold on. We'll just, no, I don't own Ambrakia quite yet. Okay, this is still held by Macedon. So let me just, let me take this, no, let me just board from the, yeah, okay, that's the way. 25th of May, do it like that. Alright, let me just board like this. Actually, hold on. What's the 31st of May? A lot faster to do it like this. 29th of May, it'll be a little bit faster. Alright. Negotiating with Dalmatia. We have sent an emissary to the pirates of Illyria to a so-called tribal chief who seems to be in charge of the wild tribes. Our messenger seems to have been poorly treated and reports back that there was not much point in continuing peaceful discussions with these barbarians unless we try to force them into submission. Oh, okay. Dalmatian tributary. That sounds pretty fine to me. Strength is the only thing these pirates understand. We'll see what happens with that. I'll wait to cancel my alliance until that happens in case the opinion improves the chance of that. Alright, so let's switch over now to doing freedom first. I could wait and just do this one once the war's done, but I may as well get this timer going, the half year. Alright, given the right reasons, even we would be able to proclaim ourselves the liberators of Greece. That's definitely what we're doing. Don't pay any attention to anything that I'm doing in this campaign. That clearly contradicts that. But, yeah. Alright, 29th of May for those guys. Oh? Are you sure about that? It's a questionable move, but he's getting there after the monthly tick, so he's not going to have the morale advantage. Maybe that's why he's doing this, but... He only has 2 more martial. He does have good martial, for what it's worth. It's a mercenary company, so... Which means, actually, now that I think about it, never mind, I don't have enough money. Actually, I could have enough money, but I don't need to have enough money, because this mercenary company should lose this fight. I don't know what they're doing. Alright, we'll let them do that. I guess they're... Okay. I guess they're going to be defending in mountains, so that's maybe their thought. And I guess... Do I get a river crossing penalty? Because they were getting it, and it's flipped around. I never remember this one. Even with those modifiers, this fight should be fine. They're going to get a lot more value from this attack than otherwise, but... And they're going to kill a lot of the strength of this force. That's the main problem. I'm not in a position to recover manpower very fast. But we are able to recover a little bit in enemy terrain as long as we kind of stay out of fights. I think this fight should be okay. I could hire the mercs myself, and I could just cancel a building to do that, to get another force moving around over here. That would be like the conservative option and kind of the sensible option, but I think I can just win this fight and just like take the manpower losses. I think that's going to be okay. Yeah, let's just let that fight happen. Macedon is welcome to just throw away this mercenary company. I guess it's going to make things cheaper because they won't pay them as much once more of them are dead. So we'll just let that happen on June 11th if they keep with that move. We shall see what they do. That is strange behavior. So that's strange. Right, embark on the boats. Okay. You guys now, come on down. Not you. You, come on down. We'll offload at Naupactos and go and grab Thermos. But I want to also go and get Petrai, just to get another bit of... Are you guys in the war? No. You guys are in the war, though. Is Ellis in the war? No, they're not in the war. The city of Ellis, by the way, is a pretty nice-looking target, but they're not in the war, so... Not part of this war, unfortunately. But keeping track of who's actually in this war is going to take a minute to pull off. Also, on the monthly tick, if this war is cancelled, I'm going to lose my mind, so... Everyone cross your fingers and toes, though that's not what happens. Insulted by Dalmatia. Not only was our peaceful emissary to Dalmatia threatened and insulted, but the barbarians mocked our great nation as well. It is time to teach these wild beasts what a precarious situation they put themselves in. One does not simply insult Rome. Alright. These goddamn Illyrians. I'll deal with you later. Alright. That alliance, forget about it. Yes, forget about it. Alright, I'm freeing myself from you. Okay. I shouldn't have been worried about this, but I've learned long ago to not trust what I think the limits of this game's capacity for bullshit is, with stuff like wars getting canceled and stuff like that. So, alright. Around we go. 8th of June to get there, and then a bit longer for that. But they're now, like, thinking about it, so maybe... I think they're reconsidering this attack, so maybe they're not going to do it. They keep stopping and going again. I've seen this happen before. Oh! I've discovered why they've decided to do this attack. Okay. Okay, so we have a new situation here. I now am no longer confident we're going to win this fight. We're attacking in mountains, possibly over a river, although this is maybe misleading, against a force of, what, 13,000 in total? 8.5 plus 4.5, which is less than what we have, but they will have a total of 13 martial. Holy crap. And the main thing is the terrain here. Morale-wise, they do have less morale, so that's worth noting. But this is a close fight, and I'm not going to take a close fight. So now what we do is hope that these mercenaries are in a betraying mood. We cancel one of these things here. Possibly 2 of those things there. Let's see what these guys need. Okay, we can do it like this. Alright, if these guys don't accept our attempt to buy them off, we are in some trouble up there. Let's hope that they're open to it. I don't have any mercenaries right now, do I? Just double checking to be completely thorough. I don't think I can see it actually, but I'm pretty sure I don't. Alright. Alright. Hey, Alazon Mukapetid, how would you like to get paid by Rome and not by Macedon? Oh my gosh, mercenary bind successful. The band of mercenaries led by Alazon Mukapetid has accepted our benevolent offer of employment. The villains in Macedon apparently refuse to consider matching our generous offer. That's right. Alright, so did these guys not be Black Flag? That's actually pretty good. Alright, so now we've got some reinforcements coming in. That's pretty cool. This guy will take over Sac, so I need to be careful about this, but he can definitely come join in. He gets there first, so these guys will now be attacking a, what, 13.6? So what would this be? 17.6k force attacking in mountains. I think that's fine. Yeah, they're going to cancel it now. And I'm fine to let these guys be here. This is not a city, so I'm fine for them to be there for the winning of the siege. Alright, we're going to have to pay for the mercs, which will eat into our economy a bit, but not that much. And this is honestly not that big of a deal, all things considered. Do we have wine going right now? We do. Okay, so that makes things a bit better. May as well have the extra strength around here, and it just deprives these guys of the mercs, so that's good. I think I could have moved a little earlier, but that's fine. Head into Naupactos, and then we'll go to Heromos right after. I could sack this, but it's not that large. I will sack Thoromis, though, so that's good. No sign of any enemy navies at all, but that's because of my navies being so strong. They're keeping their navies in port, hiding. Cannot be bothered to come out. Alright, come up there and grab that. Siege of Lycnidos is 1. Alright, good. That was quite fast. Okay, can we catch these guys with our forces? 26th of June. No, we cannot. We can at least start moving after them. I'm going to have the mercs go up and grab Pelagonia really quick. And then also work on Stowboy, which I could sack, but it's pretty small as a city, so I'll just have the mercs work on that. All of my main force just sort of follow these guys down towards Pela, which is fortified now. Or, I mean, actually, it was fortified before. I was thinking about Larissa, which is not fortified still. I can start working on Pela. This is going to be a crazy sack. Alright. Looking good so far. Is my, hold on. Okay, yeah, music is still going. We are good. Ooh. Religious advances, 4. Omen power 1%. 1 free innovation. Alright. Very good. Cultural administration. Here we go. Alright, so Russus does gain 2 finesse, which is going to matter for a few more years, but after that... And he's a younger character. He's in his 40s, I think, so we may see him again as a consul, so that could be quite good. But the main thing for this is monthly PI plus 10%, pop simulation speed 10% across the board, and cultural integration speed 25% increase. I don't do cultural integration very often, but if we wanted to, we could do that now. Adopting our culture is a mark of prestige and is a right only given out to our most esteemed foreign citizens. Right. And then, very soon, we will be able to go ahead and grab Petition of Minorities as well for the cheaper cities. That'll be quite nice. 7th of July, 4th of July, so we're not going to catch them. That's fine. Sacking of Thoromis. Appius Claudius Russus has led his men to glorious victory during the siege of Thoromis. The enemy flee in disgrace, and all that is left is to decide on how to treat the residents within. Needless to say, these spoils of war likely to cause those back in Roma to admire Appius greatly, but leaving such wealth in the hands of one man could cause problems in the future. None shall hide, I think. Let me just double check. Yep. Will not depopulate. Okay. I could come down and grab Petrai. Might not be a terrible idea. Let me think about what I want from this war here before I make too many decisions here. So, this one here requires... Oh, this requires all of the islands. Okay. Well, Thera, Naxos, and Delos are in this war. So I could go and grab this stuff. Can I reach it in the one peace deal? I don't think so. I think it's going to be too far away. I could make them subjects, though. That's allowed. And that would count for this. Then I can get this. This one here is owning or having subjects in all of this, so this is not happening super soon. So what about this? So this one I need, so Illyria Grake I get in the war for sure. Found a Colonia, probably in Epidomnos, but I'll decide that later. And then Ionian Coast, we can get this in the war. Aetolia and Epirus, the whole province. So this stuff here should transfer over. I don't know why it's not, but it should from that. Maybe I have to go get Lamia for that, even though it's part of this province. And this stuff here as well should transfer. So I should be able to get this whole thing in the peace deal. So 3 provinces along the coast. Is this, what's the war score going to be like for that sort of deal? I guess, or let me wait for this all to transfer, and then I'll take a look and see. But what else is in this mission tree after that? This would be interesting. Pelagonia and Amathia. Just to grab this stuff too. Then what else? Home of Civilization, let's see. Beatia is in this war, isn't it? Yeah, so Beatia... So, at the minute, some of the feudatories are somehow... Actually, no, hold on. No, Massania is actually its own independent nation. It's allied with Aetolia. It's not actually at war with me, so Massania owns Beatia. So wait, is Beatia still a tag or not? I thought I saw the Beatia tag earlier. Okay, I guess it was killed by Massania. So I'm not probably going to be able to grab Home of Civilization in this war, probably. I can at least grab the parts that Macedon has, although there's going to be limits to my war score here, and I want to, move, thoughtfully here. Leaving Lamia would make for a very easy target. It's probably more intelligent to grab the coastline, and then maybe the Macedon stuff. I think that's probably the way to do this. And then this stuff over here is going to be awkward because it's outside of my of this mission tree, I think. Actually, this part is not outside the mission tree. Actually, no. This is just showing me right. Okay, so what this actually says is it's showing me the territory held by that's like in the Greek area. I need to completely have Macedon outside the Greek area, and hold all of Corinthos, Athenae, and Thebae. Well, these are just the territories, they're not the provinces, right? Is Corinthos in this war? Yes. Is Athens in this war? No. Is Thebae in this war? Thebae is not even, Thebae is held by Messenia, who's not in this war. So I could also grab Corinthos in this war. It's probably a pretty strategically useful place to get. This gives me a port over on this side, which makes things a lot easier. And it is a very defensible location. It's got the Isthmus modifier. Let's see here. Yeah, it's already got the Acro Corinthos and everything. Yeah, Corinthos is probably worth going for. Which province is this in? Which means Achaia, so I probably want to get in this too. Alright, let me, let's see. Alright, Aigon's in this war. How about Pellene? Pellene is not in the war. Oh, crap. Ptolemaics do have territory here. I totally forgot about this. Yeah, they've got Sicyon. Alright, oh boy, alright. Hold on. Let me think about this. This doesn't require owning that territory. What requires owning that territory? God, this is going to be bad. I can't complete Peloponnesian campaign without fighting Egypt. Or doing something to get them out of here. Alright. Where else does Egypt have territory? Anything else in Greece? No, it's just this one spot, thankfully. Could be worse. They've got some islands over here, but that's not part of the Greek area at this point. Okay. 48, okay, we can do something here. This guy is very low loyalty. We can absolutely do something here. This will infuriate Egypt, but we are not in a position to fight Egypt directly right now. I think what I need to do is finish this war. Definitely I do want to take Corinthos now to get a border with this location. And then I need to lower this guy's loyalty and then entice him to join my nation and take this city with him. This will kick Egypt out of the Greek area. This is the smart way of doing it. I think that's a sure thing. Alright. So, what this means is actually the capital moved to Pella. It used to be at Lamia. Let me go and sack Lamia just because I can, and I can make a fair bit of money from that. Let me send one, or let me flip this actually. I could send just a small force sort of roaming around. Do I have a full strength cab unit I can sort of peel away for some cheeky sacks on unfortified cities? Not quite, which is an extreme shame. Let me grab the most strong one. He should recover to full in a couple months. I'm going to send him over to Lamia to just try and grab it. Now, there should be more Macedonian armies and levies and legions kind of in the area, so I will be careful. I don't want to lose this horse, but the rest of these guys... Actually, hold on. I should do this in the other direction. I'm actually going to have you come down to try to grab that, because Daime's not in the war. These guys are not in the war. Actually, Sparta is in the war, so I need to be careful. Sparta's capital is, for some reason, at this mountains stronghold of Clytor, so I need to remember Sparta's part of this too. Alright, you know what? Let's not get too creative here. Keep our forces together. Let me swing around to Lamia just to get it under my control. And then I'm going to swing back down and start working in the Peloponnesian area. I need to get Petrai. I kind of want to... let's see here. I could just ignore Sparta for now. I do need to get Petrai, though. Actually, I don't technically need to get Petrai in this war. Could leave it for later. Okay, let's do this. Let me go and get the level 2 Corinthian fort under my control. Let me get into my ships and just drop off at Corinthos. I think that's the way to do it. Alright, what's happening here? Do I catch these guys? Nope. They are probably going to keep slipping away from me, which is a shame. Yeah, these mountains are in just the worst spot. Let me see if I can catch them, maybe. The mercs can work in the background, though. Yeah, let's just see if we can catch these guys. This levy is going to come in and screw everything up. Although now that I've got this fort... Oh, it doesn't reach here because of the mountain. I don't have fort coverage here still. That sucks. Okay, this fort's not going to stop them. I do have to catch these guys, unfortunately. There's nothing I can do about that. Alright. Proceed. Alright, on the boats. Actually, just kidding. Let me let you know I have to siege this. Never mind, I'm actually not just kidding. Get back on the boats like that. Only a few days, so it's perfectly fine. Okay. Come on over. Actually, you've already... No, there is no more sea tiles. Come over here, drop you guys off in Corinthos and get this under our control. Once we have this under control, we're going to have the war score from it being a capital, and also the fort, the level 2 fort's going to be really good. And then we'll kind of decide what to do. I need to have territory, I think, directly adjacent to Sicyon for this to work. So I need to be very careful about this. Okay. Oh, we are going to catch them. The game thinks this isn't a good fight. I completely disagree with that assessment. There's no reason this wouldn't be a good fight. Sure, we're attacking into hills over a river, but morale's at full. They don't even have as much morale as me. I think after a day, this will adjust to be positive. Or a few days, maybe. Really? They don't have that much more martial than me. I don't agree with this. I think we're going to win this fight. We've got more morale. We've got way more numbers. And their army is mostly archers, which are not particularly good. So, actually, no, hold on. Wait, what is their army mostly made of? 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, hold on. Their army is mostly some unit that's not displayed. I think it's mostly pikemen or spearmen, because I thought that said 17 archers. It's actually 1 unit that has no icon, and then 7 units that have no icon, and then the rest adds up to that. Because 1 plus 4 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2, and then plus 7 plus 1 is 17. So... Actually, no, that's not right. Because that's 60. Okay, I don't know what's going on here. Either way, I don't think this is a bad fight, and I'm going to take it. Also, you guys land over here in Corinthos. This should be perfectly fine. We'll just land and kill those guys in Corinth. All right, 23rd of July. Oh, it was pikemen. Okay, that's what I thought. So it's pikemen and skirmishers. This should be fine. We won the siege up here at Pelagonia. you guys come work now on Stowboy. Eyes peeled down here as well. Yeah, this is completely fine. We just stack like the Corinthians. Yep, no surprise there. Get to work on that siege. I'm not doing an assault here without a breach. I'd be out of my mind if I did that. Unfortunately, you know what? Let me bring my ships around to the other side, actually. I think our work over here is done for now. Although that being said, there's an argument for bringing our guys back over to get Sparta occupied. But I think let's just go over to this side to blockade, because this is level 2 fort. Right up here. This is gonna... Oh, another one? This is a legion. Okay, never mind. We're not going around after all. We may have to send our guys back up to go stop this. In fact, I'm going to actually send my guys to go stop this right now. I could leave a skeleton crew, but I just started the siege, so we are stack wipe. Let's get out of here. 1st of August. For both of them? Yeah, for both of them. Oops. Let me select my guy, please. Stowboy under siege. Alright, it's probably going to go for Thermos, so let's land over here in Naupactos and try to intercept these guys, kill them and send them running. Yeah, this game was out of its mind, thinking this was going to be a close battle, or like a narrow loss, or whatever it said. It's ridiculous. That's why you got to actually look at the situation and assess it yourself, because the game does not assess things very realistically. Let's hang out here in the hills for now until this guy gets a bit closer. I don't want to stand in the mountains and scare him off, so I have to do a mountain attack. Let him come down and get into this area. Actually, he may go for Passeron. I can just get on my boats and follow him over and catch him in Ambrake if that's what happens. So let's just hang out here, recover our manpower in the meantime. Alright. Pretty good battle up here at Arat-Tira. These guys are running up there, but that shouldn't be real. Let's head over to Pela now. Bountiful Harvest. Word has arrived that this year's harvest was exceptionally good in the territory of Satakula. Whilst the merchants might be holding their heads in their hands, the people rejoice at the plummeting price of bread. Alright, 3 stability would probably be nice, although nearly 300 gold does look quite nice as well. Honestly, I think I kind of want the gold right now, to be completely honest. I don't think I need the stability that badly. We do have pretty good stability trend right now. We should perhaps limit the drop in price. Alright, and then let's celebrate the gold situation by getting some more buildings going. This is a something I don't want to sleep on here. Okay, let us reconstruct now. We keep deconstructing them, these districts. And that is all of them for all these places. And then I probably want to also start building some of this infrastructure in my other major capital locations. I'm just worried there's not enough Romans to make it worthwhile. How about in Neapolis? Not really. And Neapolis is one of my oldest ones that I've had. A lot of stuff still needs a lot of work to assimilate to become Roman. So, let's see here. I could honestly just build more aqueducts as well. It's not a bad idea, honestly. Yeah, let's just queue up more aqueducts in Roma. I can build up to 20 aqueducts in one tile, so keep building them. I need the pop capacity. We are at the pop capacity in Roma once again, so keep at it. Alright, switch back over to sheep. Okay. This all looks good. Wait to see what this guy does. Oh, hello Spartans. I guess this is the army I killed earlier. I'm just going to catch them by sheer coincidence in this, the farmlands of Elamea. Well, it works for me. I wasn't expecting that. 24th of August. Or I'm not going to catch them? I guess the game lied about that. Alright, well, whatever. I'll let my southern army deal with the Spartans. I'm just going to go to get to work on Pella right away. 24th of August, let's see what they do. Okay, they were going for Passeron, so let's activate plan interception in Ambrachia. See if we can catch them in Ambrachia, which we should be able to land immediately in because it's a port. Let's see if we can pull this off. We may not get there in time, but we're going to move pretty quick through the water. All right. These guys up here could probably do an assault, but I want to preserve their strength a little bit here. I may want to have them assault Scap Tapara up here. I guess we'll see what ends up making sense. 29th of August. 4th of September. We start sieging Pella. Very good. Alright, 13th of September, leave. We should be able to catch them in here. 8th of September. I think my forces will initiate a battle once they land here. I think. And I think this should count as defending. I don't know how this works if you land your army into an enemy army. I don't have any idea what this counts as, so we're going to find out together. Even if we're attacking, this is still a fine attack. Even if it counts as a landing attack, which I think would be a little unfair. 8th of September, let's just see exactly what happens here. Alright, what's going on here? So I am the attacker, but I didn't get a landing malice, so that's fine. So this is basically like a neutral attack, which works for me. We're going to win with those circumstances. Shortage up there, that's good. Alright. Also, any naval shenanigans happening around here? Doesn't look like it. Alright, looks like we're fine. Citizen districts are finishing, very good. There's the Spartans arriving just in time. Alright, it's basically an even fight, but we did win the fight, so I'll take that. I could wait here to recover some strength. What I might do is actually go send this force back to the peninsula to recover in friendly territory. It's going to be a lot faster. That's not a terrible idea. The Spartans coming in, though, are a problem. Let me try to catch these guys once they're moving into the mountains. I'll take a bad mountain fight just to ensure I kill them, and then I may withdraw this army to the peninsula to recover for a bit. Let me also take a look at peace deals here. So, at the minimum, I want these 3 provinces, which is already becoming over what the Macedonians, well, the Antigonians, but now the Macedonians will agree to. I guess the Antigonians are already Macedonians, technically, because they were, Macedonian culture. But whatever. The Macedonians, this is a good starting point, and this deal here would allow me to do protect the Adriatic. No, never mind. I need to do more to get this one. This would let me do foothold in Illyria, at least. And it would also let me do Ionian Coast, so that's a good start. This one here requires mostly fighting a bunch of other people. Annexing Macedon would be nice. I don't know if this is going to be super feasible. Let's see here, super peace. We got plenty of room in the war score. I think with just a bit more work, we could definitely... Like, this is going to be a major war. And this war may even bleed into the next consulship. Probably not, though. I think I have enough time to finish it before this consulship's done. Although, the next consulship is very martial, so I may as well keep at it with a big war. Let's, really just go for it, We can really power through this mission tree quite quick. And I think we got the upper hand here to really get a pretty big victory. So, let me think about this. How do I want to handle this? Let me wait here for now, and then wait and see how these guys move. If they move into here, I may try to catch them from Ambracia and get a bad fight in the mountains, but a fight that I'll win against... Oh, they have a lot of martial and a very, very good... or they have a lot of morality, and then they have a lot of martial as well, but I'll still win with these numbers. Okay, this all looks fine. Let me keep the boats here just in case I need them. I will need them to transport my guys back to Italy soon, but for now this is fine. In the north, things are held down, so this is going to be good. Okay. What's the timeline? I probably can't wait for the tick and move, but I may get there after the tick. Monthly tick. I can actually get there first, which will probably make them stop moving. Okay, here's a new plan. I'm actually going to bring the boats around to Lamia after all. I'm going to kill them over here, and then get Lamia, and then board in Lamia. And then maybe I just keep acting. I don't know if I even need to go back to Italy, honestly. Let me go for this more aggressive move. I think we've killed their armies quite a bit. I think we've got the numbers to make this work. Though we'll keep our eyes peeled for any naval shenanigans. Right, they did stop. They're going to run away. That's fine. I'd rather just fight them up here and keep them away from the stuff I've taken. Let's just go for Lamia, get that, and then just go north and start annexing, or I mean, sacking these cities. Works for me. You guys can have that. Good. More districts are finishing. Very good. I don't want to have to wait around for truce timers with Macedon to conquer more. I want to get more from Macedon in one go. Really just take this land as efficiently as I can here. These guys have caused me so much grief. I gotta get my revenge. Alright, they're gonna go hide in the cities. That's fine. Stroboy is 1. Very good. This will conquer the rest of this stuff, so the fort coverage will now protect the north. That's really, really good. Okay, and this guy got the sack off. That's fine. I'm gonna have him go up and grab Scap Tapara, which I don't think is part of this mission tree directly. I don't think so. But I might as well go grab the war score. And I want to come get this with my armies so I can sack it myself. I could come down and join. No, I can't because he is of his marshals. Never mind. I can't join to do an assault. Let's just keep our forces not doing assaults. Focus on... Alright, coming of the city of Turris Libisonis, our extension of new privileges and investments into the local infrastructure have seen Turris Libisonis grow from relative humility into a true Massilian city. While it still has some way to go before it can rival the great cities of our age, the past 2 years have ushered in a new era of growth and urbanization in this territory. Alright, this place is still trending upward, but it's still disloyal, so that's fine. But at least it's a city now, so that's pretty good. Alright. Looking good. Boats are coming around. Fruit shortage here. No breaches, though, so we just continue with a default siege. These guys may be coming to Lamia, which means we may... Oh, hello. We caught one of their navies. That's pretty lucky. And Ionia may come in, too. Ionia is at war with me, so we will get some naval action in this war after all. Yeah, this was just an instant slaughter. Set them all. Actually, we captured one of their Liburnians, but the rest of them were killed. And I guess the Ionians just fled as soon as they saw what was happening. Can't blame them. I'm going to have one of the Liburnians go ahead and leave the fort. He's over the 30 limit, so alright, you guys keep heading to Lamia. These guys, I think, are coming to Lamia, but I guess we'll see. I may wait here for them to arrive in case that's what they're doing. Okay, they're not going to Lamia. Maybe they're going to Ganoy, so I might be able to catch them up there. That would be quite good. Ooh, okay, this is interesting. I think Macedon isn't able to use these troops. Actually, hold on. Are there not crossings over here on this map? I guess there's no land crossings on this map. I guess you have to... Yeah, you need to have a navy to transport between... Euboea and the mainland. Interesting. So this army is just kind of stuck out there because they're not willing to use their navy with my navy around to transport them. Sucks to be them, I guess. That is a shame. But I'm not going to cry too much for them. That was how it worked out. Right. Occupation of Lamia is 1. No sack for me, really? That's a shame. Oh well. Alright, let's see if we can chase these guys up here, which I think they're going up there. I want to kill them before they can start getting active again. You guys just stay here. So I guess they probably moved their fleet. Actually, their fleet's not here. I don't actually know where their fleet is. I haven't seen their fleet at all. It's hiding in some distant port somewhere, which is probably the smart move to make. Maybe it's back over here or something. Yeah, Macedon has a bunch of random territories that are holdovers from the Antigonid days, but... yeah, who knows? But I think this war is going quite well as it is. No need to even bother with the with beating their fleet in direct combat. We'll just keep the ships. Actually, we could bring the ships up here to make this siege happen a bit faster. May as well do that actually while they're in the area. All right, we've got this northern fort under siege. Very good. We should actually catch up to them. Oh, we're going to catch them in Larissa. I guess they're going to Larissa, oddly enough. Oh, hello, Macedon army. Alright, the Levy of Macedonia has, I think, reformed. That's their guy that we beat before. I guess this army ran away in time. That's fine. It's not going to join this fight in time. Although, after this fight, we may have some numbers problems for this battle, but they're on not full morale. I could break away some guys here and bring them with the boats down to reinforce down here. Let's see what we have to do here. How this battle goes will sort of decide the quality of the situation. Alright. Oh, there's Spartans right here, too. They may join in. They're not going to. They're smart enough to know not to join in for this fight here, the slaughter. Alright. Wasn't just act wipe, but it was a good outcome, numbers-wise. We're now going to catch the Spartans up here, which the game uncharitably thinks is not like a complete blowout, but I guess to be fair, they've got really, really good morale and good marshals, so I guess that's not necessarily wrong. Also, this army here, fortunately, isn't moving through the mountain pass, which I think is territory you can move through, you just can't inhabit it. Tente Pass. We're actually nearby the, what's it called? Thermopylae. So, this is a weird sort of reverse of what actually happened at Thermopylae. Actually, I think Thermopylae's down here, isn't it? Yeah, it's like around here somewhere. So, we're not quite near Thermopylae after all, but, you know, we're fighting Spartans near a mountain pass, so I think about Thermopylae. Whatever. Isn't Thermopylae down here? I think so. I can't remember. It's around here somewhere. Whatever the case, 17th of December for these guys. No breach here yet, but we're about to get a bit of siege progression once our boats arrive. Very good. No shenanigans over here, although I did spot a navy there. It's not doing anything, though. That's good. Is that so? Oh, they learned about the mountain pass. Okay. Time to leave. We might win this fight eventually, but not when the Macedonians get here. Alright, boys, it's been a good run. We are fleeing to where? Well, we're going to go faster than them, and they're probably going to stop to retake provincial capital. So let's just head to... Let's see. Here's the move. We're going to head to Ambracia. Oh, man. Shouldn't have underestimated the Spartans. My mistake. Alright, you guys are now going to be retrieving the soldiers and hopefully bringing them to safety. We've done this before with Carthage, so let's see if we can pull this off again in Greece. Although, how many are left? 20... So the remaining cohorts at this stage are 27, which means I'm going to leave Classis 1 Ostia behind, while Classis 2 Heraclea goes to retrieve. I don't need both of the navies to transport the one army. You guys, actually no, they didn't lose all the cohorts. They're split, that's why. So I just forgot about that. But we actually have all of our original cohorts, all things considered. But Classis 1 Ostia stay behind to help with the siege. All right, this should be okay. They're not chasing me very aggressively, but now they've regained the momentum over here. But overall, the war is going in the right direction, so I don't want to be too doom and gloom about this. We're about to get their capital, so things are actually not that bad. 30 ships on their own should be completely fine to move through here. It's a little risky. They could have some clever naval blockade prepared, but I don't think that's a serious concern. Should have probably sent the higher Marshal Admiral, but oh well. That's fine. This force here, though, may be vulnerable, although probably not under the circumstances. I guess we'll see. Alright, shouldn't be a huge problem. Once we take Pella, we're going to have a... Oh, no sack, really? Come on. I did it with my guy and everything. Alright, well, that's a shame. Okay, well, let's go ahead and go... Oh, I should have gone... Oh, I totally screwed this up. I should have gone to Thessaloniki first. I'm not going to be able to sack Thessaloniki now. Alright, we'll go and sack the smaller city of Pydna just to get it out of our system. That was a mistake, but oh well. And I could have had the Navy bring my guys over too to do that. Alright, Thessalonica lives to see another day. It is what it is. We'll send these guys south, see if we can get involved in the cities down here to some extent. Okay, there is a naval battle here, but this should be... Yep, we just killed both of them. That is to be expected. Captured another admiral. Let me release all the admirals I've captured just so they're not clogging up my jail. They can just go free, that's fine. I don't care about that. Alright, you guys sail back around. These ships also can come south as well now. Totally forgot about that. Everyone come back to Ambarakia. Okay, these guys could make a attack. Once this force stops retreating, I'm not going to have the numbers superiority over here anymore. So I need to be a little careful now. Where's it going to? Probably it's going to Pella. Let me try to chase this force down in case it is going to Pella, because I want to kill this force in what might be a very strategically helpful stack wipe. And actually, with that in mind, I'm going to keep this navy over here in case I need to withdraw these forces. This navy can carry this army on its own. I got plenty of manpower. I can't get the manpower into my armies while they're in enemy territory very easily, even occupied territory. I kind of do need to bring people back over to recover in Italia, or in Italy, I should really say, in Magna Graecia, more accurately, but alright. They're crossing over. They might be going to Thessalonica. Let me just try to chase them, actually. Actually, I could go for Amphipolis, which is quite populous. Actually, Cassandrea would be quite nice. I'm going to blockade this if I move my ships in, so I can hold this down. Let me actually, yeah, let me, this should be safe to do right here. Let me split away my strongest horse, my most powerful horse. All right, here we are. Here he is. Or 500 of my most powerful horses. Go into a cheeky 500 horse sack of Cassandrea, and the rest of you head straight for Amphipolis, which is maybe where they're going. I'm not entirely sure, but we will catch them there if that's where they're going. You guys just stay here to keep line of sight going on. All right, this is looking good. Oh, we're gonna catch them in Thessalonica. That's perfect. That's completely perfect. That Spartans are there too. All right, whatever. They're actually gonna run into me as I'm leaving, which is funny, but that will work for me. Alright, looking good. Stack wipe, okay, that's what I was looking for. This changes the math a lot. See how much the war score just jumped up right there. That's 4,000 men slaughtered right there. This is what I've been looking for this whole time. We killed their blind commander. Well, no wonder this army's been having so much trouble. Alright, oh no, this guy took attrition. Alright, I need some more horse volunteers. Remember, volunteers not the right word. Let me send over, actually no, that'd be too complicated. Actually, no, this isn't too complicated. Let me send over the horses from this other force to go join down here. Select. There we go. All right, the rest of you head for Amphipolis, get that sacked. Civic Advance 4, very good. Pop capacity 1%, and global mobility modifier 1%. Okay, what next? Should probably get petition of minorities before I start building cities, which is something I want to get to pretty soon here. Allowing accepted minority leaders to submit petitions on behalf of their people at least gives them the opportunity to make their grievances known. Province loyalty plus 0.02, which is going to help out quite a bit. Unintegrated culture happiness plus 3%, which will also help out. And a found city cost modifier minus 25%. Very good. Okay. And we can also build roads now. We'll get to that later. We're in the middle of stuff right now at the minute, obviously. You guys just wait there. I'm going to bring these guys back over to Italy to recover. Unless, do I not want to? I might be able to get a peace deal here pretty soon that I like. Let me look at what I want again. So, the stuff along the coastline is the minimum I want. And if I were to ask for just that, they would give me just that. But I could get a bit more now. So, the mission tree also wants Macedon, and I do have all the Macedon stuff now, so I could ask for this as part of the peace deal. I'll be in Macedon anyways, so I may as well get more Macedonia territory. Or I should say, I'll be in Macedonia, so... Okay, we're back to them not agreeing to it narrowly, so... I think this is the deal I go for. This is going to be border war, the peace deal, but... this is the way it works out, you know, so this is the deal I go for. This is an expensive deal, almost 30 AE. So this really is a major war, but I can't begin to explain how much we screw Macedon up with this deal. We cut them in half. They become a bunch of different exclaves. A lot of their core population goes to us, which then means we have to deal with them. But they are going to be my same religion. I think this is the deal we go for, because this gives us 3 sets of colonias. We get the one here, we get the one here, and we get the one here. And this is out of our reach right now. This is out of our reach right now. This is out of our reach. We have to fight these guys too, so we'll go over that later. This one here requires all these islands, which I'm not in a position to get right now. Yeah, so this looks good to me. So let's just get a bit more war score, and then we'll wrap this thing up. I'm going to start saving my PI as well for the post-war concerns. So I probably should bring these guys back to recover from my manpower. That's probably going to be the move, as they say. Alright, these guys are going to go try to siege Macedon, or I mean siege Pella. That's completely fine. Alright, these mercs up here, I may just do an assault. I don't think I need the mercs much longer. Although, they have been doing a good job so far. They could help out in the fight, that's a sure thing. They would have a lot more marshals, so let me keep them at full strength, actually. I don't think we need to rush up here too badly. February. They're sieging Pella, that's fine. Sacking of Casa Andrea. Finally, we sacked something. Holy crap. Alright. Appius Claudius Russus has led his men to glorious victory during the siege of Casa Andrea. The enemy flee in disgrace, and all that is left is to decide on how to treat the residents within. Needless to say, these spoils of war likely to cause us back in Roma to admire Appius greatly, but leaving such wealth in the hands of one man could cause problems in the future. None shall hide, need it be said. Alright, you guys there. I'm gonna have this horse force come to let's see. May as well come catch up with these guys. Do I want to sack this? Not that much, it's not that big. Let me go sack this, then I'll get my forces reorganized and come relieve Pella. These forces together should not survive it'd be an offensive battle for them, so I'd be defending in farmland. That should be fine. That should be completely fine. Let me also bring the boats over to blockade this, just to be on the safe side. I don't think they can cross because of zone of control, but I may as well have the boats here. Actually, here's a better idea. Let me bring the boats over here and transport everyone on the boats over here, which will be a lot faster, so that is a good call. Good work, me. 15th of February. Alright, you guys are getting some much-deserved shore leave, I guess, back in Italy, but this is for equipment purposes. Let's head over to Hydruntum. See, I told you that having this city on the edge of the peninsula over here would be handy. We'll just post up in Hydruntum and get recovering. I'll do reorganization over there as well. I'm gonna recover that, that's fine. Okay, everything here looks fine. Alright. Also, I forgot to do reorganization on monthly tick. Whoops. We'll just do that now. We need 7.4k, so we do have enough manpower to fully recover all of our manpower. It just needs to get to them in time. And when they're in your territory, they recover manpower much, much, much faster. Can I see that number anywhere in this UI? Probably not, because that would be useful information, which this UI is not well equipped to providing me. But I know that that's how it works from experience. Alright, we captured this. No sack, though. Meh. Alright, whatever. Let's land in here and bring these guys over to just relieve the siege. It gets more war score. Supply shortage up there. Very good. We got their navies doing stuff. Nothing to be worried about, though. Alright, we'll just land directly into it. Although, actually, if it's our fort, I think we still count as the defender, so it should be fine. It's going to be the fastest way. Alright, they got a fair few forces here. That's fine, the Macedon just took over the siege from Sparta. I saw you Sparta trying to take over the siege, you cheeky jerks. Yeah, that's funny. I'm just gonna keep the boats here, honestly, that's fine. This attack should be fine. Oh, Sparta took over the siege again. That's good. Okay, at this point, I think we're near enough war score to be able to just brute force this. So let me go ahead and just do an assault up here to get this under control. This army should win the assault with its morale. Alright, 23rd of March. Okay, in we come. 25th of March. We should be defending here, given how it's a fort we control. I guess we'll see if I'm wrong about that. We are defending. Okay, good. I was not wrong about that. And we are going to win with the morale bonus, because the Spartan morale bonus cannot be overstated. The Spartans were giving this stack a lot of extra morale, but we just about have enough morale with all of our bonuses we've been accruing on top of everything. So, or maybe I speak too soon. I may speak too soon. You guys head down here, and then we'll make you see it in just a minute. They've got so many fewer forces than me. This is going to be close. It's going to be a really close one. Okay, hold on. Okay. Once they lost a few more of their stronger units, things turned back around. But that was a little dicey, to be sure. That was a little dicey. All right, they retreated. Or wait. Yeah, they retreated. Okay. Whew. Okay, good. We slaughtered a lot of them. Traded with Fazan, or whoever that was, a Fazani nation. Maybe it wasn't Fazan directly. Okay. How are they feeling about this deal now? They're almost there. This is a big deal, so I don't blame them for not going for it immediately. I hate how powerful my greed is, but I'm thinking about how much easier my life would be if I got a little bit more of Macedonia in this war. I need to be stopped. Someone's got to stop me. This is like, I'm becoming one with like the idea of the Roman Republic, because my greed for land is just so unfathomable. I could just get a little bit more, right? But no, this deal's already pushing it. That being said, we do have a lot of manpower, and I think I can maintain all this territory, because that's just a quick war to get this stuff up here. What I would want to add is to get the rest of Macedonia, because the mission tree also has us getting northern... Or actually, that's not that area there. But this mission tree isn't required to finish, but I could get the stuff as part of fighting Skordiskia. This would be really pushing it. And our AE. We have 0 AE, and we have a lot of AE reduction, but that's a lot of AE to get in a very short amount of time. Our stability would collapse. But I've done it before. I've caused my own stability to collapse before, and it's worked out okay. Let me think about this. Show me the region. What is this worth to these guys? This is a crazy deal. It's pretty hard to justify a deal like this. And I kind of want this part too. Fully taking all of Macedonia in one war, that's out of the question. I don't think they would agree to that deal even if I had that territory. The issue is the weight of all their feudatories adds so much more like work we have to do. I just really want the northern part, at least. Like, this deal is really kind of what I want, to be honest. 44 AE is crazy, though. Can I even get enough war score? I mean, here's the thing, right? I have a lot of manpower, and I've got the initiative here. I've won a couple of close fights, and I think we're going to be able to hold this down. If I can just get my army that's over here recovered fast enough and bring them back over as fresh reinforcements, we should be able to keep the warpath going. I think I can do this. I think I can pull out a crazy deal here that may may require quite a bit of work to keep under control, but I think this is doable. All right, these mercs I think may get disbanded actually once they finish moving, because I don't think I have use of a merc force this small. They did their job getting this under my control. Let's let them go. You guys, I need to put to use though. I'm just gonna have these guys go ahead and actually this is gonna take a long time, isn't it? Through the mountain pass. Let me get on the boats. Actually, no, not you. You go there. You guys stay here. Board the boats. 16th of April. Get on the boats. Alright. I'm going to have these guys get brought down here to the Pagasai and Halos area. Land and start sacking, or whatever they can do. We'll see if we're allowed to get the sacks or not. It seems kind of random if it happens or not. And then, with my money that I have at the minute, let's keep reinvesting it. Although, saving some money for post-war may be needed, given what I'm about to be doing. So yeah, let me start saving my money for the post-war, because we're going to have an absolute nightmare dealing with all this territory. But that's Rome for you. This is the audacity of Rome on full display. A lot of good Romans died so I could take this territory, so I need to make sure their sacrifices are not in vain. Alright. Okay, let's get to work here, land here, and just start taking this stuff. See if we can get some sacks. This force here, I'm going to keep recovering. What's its total strength? How much more strength does it have? Not a lot left to go. Let's give it one more monthly tick, and then we'll go ahead and get it back on the boats and sent over as reinforcements. We got some more work to do, to be sure, if we're going to go for this deal, but we got the manpower for it. May as well. Had to pause because I was taking a sip of my coffee. Alright. Go up to Farai first. Now, this army here is still dangerous, so we need to be careful. Trade route available. More grain, honestly. Like, I just need more grain. Sorry. Egypt, please help. Alright. We could also get more buildings going here as well. Let's not go crazy here. Having the aqueducts also be queued up is nice, because they can cancel them to get the money back in its entirety, so I think we'll just leave it alone for now. Although, we're already at the capacity again. Holy crap. This population capacity thing. I also want to found a metropolis. I have so many things I need to spend my PI on. Let's save our gold, save our PIs. Leave it all alone. Let's keep it together here. I'm disbanding. This will improve my economy quite a bit. And I probably don't need Fort Bandits, but again, I'm just going to pay for it just to be on the safe side. Okay, this should be fine. Let's try to sack this. I think they're just going to go back towards Pella, which is fine. Sacking Ferrer. Okay, we did manage to sack this. That's nice. Appius Claudius Drusus has led his men to glorious victory during the siege of Ferrai. The enemy flee in disgrace, and all that is left is to decide on how to treat the residents within. Needless to say, these spoils of war are likely to cause those back in Roma to admire Appius greatly, but leaving such wealth in the hands of one man can cause problems in the future. None shall hide. Alright. Come down to Farsalo, see if we can get this. Hopes are not, hopes are not high, but maybe. We'll see. Keep our boats just around here to evacuate these guys if needed. This force should be ready to be redeployed to Greece. Let's see. Monthly tick. Alright. You guys are just about strong enough, so yeah, let's go ahead and send these guys back over. We have a very interesting 11,111 guys exactly, so interesting. On the boats you go. Let's drop these guys off over at Corinthos. Actually, let's make a pit stop at... No, let's go to Corinthos first. Let's re-initiate the Corinthos plan. This force should be more than strong enough to take it. We have completely, we have done unspeakable things to the land of Macedon. We have ransacked this area to an incredible degree. Alright, no siege for me, but I did manage to take some slaves, so that's handy. Let's see if we can get Larissa at least as a, no sack for me, but that's fine. Let's see what we can do here. Talented Archimedes. A skilled mathematician by the name of Archimedes has risen to prominence in the halls of Syracuse, impressing many with his novel approaches. It seems he is the son of an astronomer and was educated in the Alexandrine schools of Egypt. His talents may prove useful in more than just theoretical application. So we get Archimedes' rigor for... How long is that? Like 100 million years? I don't know how many years that is, but a long time. Tech speed 5% and fort defense 10%. That's pretty good. And we get Archimedes, who is a very, very strong character. He is Hellenic, he is Sikeliote, which is a Hellenistic culture group, but he is Hellenic, so he's okay. I could make him like a governor or something. Like, this is a historical character, that's why we're doing this pop-up. The famous, like, scientist Archimedes, but we'll see if we can put him to use. He is a popularis, for what that's worth, but this guy would make for a very good officer if I don't mind having a non-Roman officer. We shall see. Maybe on the next election I'll consider that. For now, I don't want to mess with stuff too much. Alright, we're ahead number still. How are these guys feeling? They're getting there. We have a bit more work to do, though. We will have to start taking some of these feudatories out to get the war score we need for this deal. This ridiculous deal. I can't believe I'm going for this. I'm out of my mind, but here we are. Alright, trade our wine away. That's fine. Land here in Corinthos. We'll get another stack wipe on the poor Corinthian levy. They got stack wiped, and then like a few years later I come back and stack wipe them again. That's great. Alright, this should be fine. Trade with the Bosphorans. Alright, come on, give me a sack. Damn it! Alright, that's fine. Come grab the provincial capital, and we'll try to catch these guys after. Battle of Corinthos. This should be perfectly fine. This was, in fact... Oh, hold on. Alright, first things first. This was perfectly fine, but... Appius Claudius Caecus gave into frailty at the age of 74. He was the co-consul of Rome and a brother of the consul of Rome. He was a member of the Claudia family. Alright. We have to show our respect. He regained hair in death. It seems like when people die in this campaign, the coroner gives them a fresh fade, you know. I guess the opposite of that, an unfresh fade, because they add more hair. But yeah, Caecus, he was a pretty important character for this campaign. Under his, wise Bonnie leadership, we undersaw many construction projects, and just in general, he was a important, point in our story in this campaign. So rest in peace, Appius Claudius Caecus. You will be missed. So what exactly happens? Okay, so Valero Aurelius, the future planning co-consul, just became the co-consul. That's fine. He is a popularis. He's giving us extra charisma. So now we have slightly reduced zeal, but otherwise things are pretty much the same. So we do have to replace him as the censor, though, so that part's not so fun. I guess we'll put Wieland's in there. He has a lot of statesmanship, and he's got good charisma. Looks fine to me, honestly. Okay, and our new expected people are Appius Claudius Africanus, and now Fabia Tertia is going to be our next co-consul. I think this may have been the Fabia, or the, I don't remember if this was the character that was the co-consul before. I actually don't remember which character it was. All the female characters have very similar names because of the Latin naming convention for women, where it's like a first name and then like the number they are in the family, like Fabia Tertia is the third Fabia. You know how it is, but that's fine. We'll see what happens with that. Alright, over here. Okay. The Corinthians actually do have, for some reason, a giant navy, so I'm going to try to fight this navy before it can link up with wherever the Macedonian navy is hiding. And I'm actually going to bring this navy down to try to intercept as well. Let's see what we can do here. I do not want the enemy to sort of scrounge together naval supremacy. Given the situation, if I lose naval supremacy, I'm in big trouble because I cannot resupply myself from Italy if that happens. So let's come around. We'll at least come over and help with the siege from this side if that happens, but we'll worry about that later. Alright, we could go and catch these guys. No, they're going to get away in time, so let's just keep coming down this way. Let's get our navies linked up together to try to find and kill the Corinthian navy, wherever it is. Alright, we won this. Good. How you feeling about this deal? You're on the way there. Not quite, though. Alright, you guys probably won't catch them in Lamia, but we can at least retake Lamia on the way down. Where's their navy? I think it's over here somewhere. I've not spotted it. Okay. Okay, their navies just disappeared from the face of the universe. Okay, whatever. Let's just get our ships merged together and just keep things on the safe side. Let's go support this siege with the navies. Oh, hello, I've spotted their navies. Alright. Let's try to catch them if we can. They may slip away from me. Wait, hold on, wait. Which one are they going to? I think they're going to this one. You stay put. You come here, 31st of July. Alright. Let's try to catch them with the first one, then the second one can come in to reinforce. That should be completely fine. Oh, here's the Macedonian Navy. Okay. We're seeing some naval action now. If I can kill this navy, that'd be a lot of war score from that, so... Wait, what? Where are these guys going? Are they going to Thermos? What? Okay, I'm a little surprised by that. Alright, let's just follow them and see what they do. I'm gonna kill this army if I can. They're gonna have to stop to siege at some point, so we will catch up eventually, so... Let's see what we can do here. Alright, these guys are gonna get away in time. In which case, you go there, and you keep going there. And now we can switch to like this. Alright, here we go. We're gonna catch these guys. The game, need I say anything? I mean, just look at this. There's no reason. I guess the morale is one reason. Probably should have been running increased fleet maintenance, but that's fine. I haven't needed it so far. This navy is on not full morale because they're teamed up with the low morale Feudatory Navy, but that shouldn't be a problem. This fight should finish before these guys arrive, and even with our less good morale, we've got the numbers to win the day, so I think this should be fine. Okay, yeah, the game has changed its mind now about what's going to happen here. Alright, yeah, we're going to be completely fine. In fact, we're going to draw the Macedonians into a good naval fight, so I'm going to take this for real, for real. Alright, we're going to get here 12th of August. Here they are. They arrived as the other navy was destroyed, so that's funny. We also captured one ship. Still haven't lost any ships yet, so that's pretty good. Right now we've lost a couple of ships. That's fine. We're going to pull in basically... Okay, so now basically all of the navies of all of the feudatories are coming in to join. This should be fine. This may not be fine. This won't be fine. Okay, we may need to leave. Let me kill as much of this navy as I can before we start to take more damage. Then we're out of here. Actually, this might be fine after all. Their new morale that was added didn't change the base as much as I thought. Also, you... Okay, I think they're going for Brachia. Let me just keep chasing them. Okay, this is... Oh, hold on. Okay, now it recalculated. With our weight, we still have the advantage here. This is going to be a pretty brutal naval fight. We're going to lose a lot of ships, but we are going to win the day, I think, over here. Yeah, okay. This was fine after all. Numbers won out, so this is a crazy naval battle. The Battle of Mare Meritum. The forces of Corinth, Macedon, Ionia, Nesoitic League, and Miletos are fleeing against Rome. We lost one Hexarei and one Liburnian, and that's it. We killed one Liburnian, 3 triremes, 4 Liburnians. I'm not going to count them all, but we killed a lot of ships. And we captured a bunch of ships, too. Alright, they're all going to flee all over the place. That naval battle made a big difference to the war score. That was all of their navies defeated right there. They were almost there. Once I take Corinthos, they may be thinking about it. But I really need to kill this army before they really will change their tune. Let me bring the ships over, and I'll keep the extra ships that I captured for now, just for extra strength, but I will destroy them after the war, to be thorough. When do we get here? 30th of August. Okay. I don't know if this is a good idea. We would win the assault if we did an assault right now. Let me give it the rest of this tick to see if we get a breach. Then I will be very happy. I kind of want to bring the ships over to carry this army north to catch up with these guys. I think they're going for Passeron. I don't know what else they'd be doing. Maybe they're going for the war target. That might actually be what they're doing. The AI was going to prioritize that. Let's at least go to Passeron and see what they're up to. We can catch them there if that's what they're doing. Give this a few more days. And then go ahead and do an assault. if that ends up being what has to happen. I can't tell what these guys are doing. Mysterious behavior. Nine more days. Okay, these guys are definitely going for Epidomnos, which is fine. We'll just chase them up there. We'll catch them up there eventually. Come on, give me a breach, please. Alright, that's fine. Let's just do an assault. We, with the fleet supporting, should be able to pull this off just fine with our numbers here. We're going to destroy our morale quite a bit, but that's fine. We can just go ahead and recover morale while we're sieging Megara right after. This will kick all the navies out so we can get some naval stack wipes. That would be quite good. Alright, order an assault. This is going to be expensive on manpower, but we got plenty of manpower to spare. In an emergency, we can just extract these guys back to Italy if we need to. The sacking of Corinthos. Appius Claudius Russus has led his men to glorious victory during the siege of Corinthos. The enemy flee in disgrace, and all that is left is to decide on how to treat the residents within. Needless to say, these spoils of war like the Causos back in Roma to admire Appius greatly, but leaving such wealth in the hands of one man could cause problems in the future. None shall hide, I think. Not as big of a city as I was expecting, but this is a very strategically important city. None shall hide. Okay. Incidentally, I kind of do need to have Corinthos in the peace deal too. I kind of forgot about that. Oh man, okay, Corinthos is worth a lot. That's pretty bad. I guess the Ptolemaic thing can wait for later. I don't need, because I'm not taking this territory yet, and this Ptolemaic thing can wait until I'm taking the territory, so I could wait on that. Yeah, I don't want to overextend myself too much here. This deal's already, like, nearly, like, out of the question, so let's just come back for Corinthos later. We'll take the southern parts of Greece, kind of another big fell swoop, maybe in a decade or so. Well, maybe sooner, I guess we'll see. We'll have the manpower for it, I think, at this rate. Alright, let's head over to Megara and get to work on that. Actually, we could come down and get... No, never mind, these guys aren't in the war. Yeah, let's head over to Megara. I'm going to keep the ships here just to kill the navies as they flee out for some easy extra war score. We even get enough war score in these next couple naval battles. We shall see. Should be just a stag wipe. Yep, we just captured all of them, so that's going to work for me. We're almost there. We're nearly there. What is happening over here, by the way? Messenia's fighting Athens. Alright, that's cute. I think we're going to catch these guys, actually, because we're faster. I think we're going to catch them up here, but let's keep moving towards Epidomnos. Yeah, they're moving in that direction. That fight will get us the war score we need, I think. Fortress under siege. Let's let our morale recover, and then I'll go ahead and do an assault over here as well. It's just... Actually, I might be able to do an assault right now. I think I can just do an assault right now. I'm greedy. I want to get this thing over with. Killing their navy would get me the war score that I need to get this thing over and done with. Not advisable normally, but this is going to work just fine for us at the minute. Okay, we didn't quite get it, but this should win on the next tick, so it's going to work out because their garrison's so low. Districts are finishing. That's fine. Save our money, though, for now. Okay, they are going to get ahead of us here. That's fine. Alright, come on. If they take Epidomnos, the war scores things get screwed up. Let's just... I think we'll catch them in Epidomnos, which is going to win the day for us. We should get this on the next tick. And this battle should happen soon. Oh, they're actually... Where are they going? Okay, I don't know what they're doing going up there, but let's go hold down Epidomnos and just wait and see what they do. Alright, on the tick, we should win the siege and kick their navy out. Alright, as expected, the sacking of Megara captured a lot of population here. This place is surprisingly large. Appius Claudius Russus has led his men to glorious victory. During the siege of Megara, the enemy flee in disgrace, and all that is left is to decide on how to treat the residents within. Needless to say, these spoils of war like the Causos back in Roma to admire Appius greatly, but leaving such wealth in the hands of one man could cause problems in the future. None shall hide. Alright, now, will they agree to this deal now? Almost. Once their navy dies, I think they will agree to it. So let's just keep our guys here to recover and see what happens. Here comes the damaged Macedonian navy. None shall hide in the seas either. Alright. This is brutal. Come on, let's see it. Oh, man. We killed them so badly they lost 7 of their 6 triremes. Love to see it when that happens. That's what I call a major victory. I still don't understand this weird visual thing, but it's funny. Alright. We also captured their admiral. Okay, let's let their people go. Least we can do. Now, Macedon. That's what I thought. These poor guys. Actually, I don't feel that bad for them. They've screwed me over so much. All right, we're about to get the mother of all peace steals, 44 AE. Our diplomatic status in the world is about to collapse pretty hard, but this is going to be a magnificent victory for Rome. We have entered into Greece in a big way, and we're going to have most of the region of Macedon under our control. Technically, a slightly more cohesive deal that I would prefer is to just get Macedonia and then come for Greece later. However, with the mission tree, the way it's designed, it wants me to go into both these regions at the same time, so we're going to go for this deal. This is the deal that works for me. And yeah, let us go for it. Whew. Here we go. There it is. The Hellenistic major power of Macedon accepts our generous peace offer. Macedonian Illyria Graecae to Rome, Macedonian Epirus to Rome, Macedonian Aetolia to Rome, Macedonian Pelagonia to Rome, Macedonian Amathea to Rome, Macedonian Chalkidiki to Rome, and Macedonian Paeonia to Rome. Alright, so first things first. Lower the levies and send the ships home. Also reorganize the ships. Okay, so first of all, let me go ahead and split away all the extra triremes I don't need, and any extra hexarays I don't need. We're going to start constructing our third fleet, but I'm going to make use of the Liburnians that I've captured for that. So I'm going to send you guys back to Ostia, and then over here, split away the trireme. This trireme can just be disbanded, and then you head back to Heraclea. All right, and then where's my other navy? Oh, it's over here still, right? Pass this from Ostia. Split away. We actually need to get one more hexaray here, so we'll reconstruct. All right, these 3 head to Ostia as well, and then class this one Ostia. Split away the triremes. These guys can be disbanded, and then you guys head back to Ostia, and then we'll start building a hexaray over here. May as well do that now, actually. Actually, I'll wait and do that until I switch my ideas later. Okay, let's get some governors assigned. Oh my gosh. First things first. Go back under decreased pay. No fleet maintenance. Fort maintenance is off. Alright. We have a lot to do right here. Okay, so first things first. Let me get my governor set up. Then we'll do our missions. And we have decisions too. Oh my gosh, alright. One thing at a time here. Okay. I need this one first, don't I? The song of my people has been shared. Fuck. No, why didn't I realize that? God damn it. Alright, the missions will have to wait. That is a huge shame. I don't know where the colonials are going to be now. I can guess, at least. I guess I'll just have to do this first. Wait, I have enough, don't I? Owns every territory. Oh, every territory, not just 3 of 3. I have to fight these guys, who are a tributary. Oh, I fucked this up. I should have taken this in the war. I did not realize these guys were a march. I think I even commented about this before, that I noticed that. Oh, I have a truce with them. 496? Holy crap. Alright. God damn it. Alright. Alright. I won the war. Let's focus on the positives here. I won the war. I can probably guess where the colonies are going to be, and I can just set them up preemptively. Alright. Worry about that later. Alright. We need a governor for Macedon. We could put in Archimedes, for what that's worth. He does have a lot of finesse. That is true. I would prefer to have a Roman governor, honestly. Gnaeus Augulnius would be a solid option. Cornelia Secunda is another good option. She has some corruption, though, but she's more loyal because she's shy. What about this guy? He's skeptical, but he's cautious. Fabia Prima is also a good option here. Young character, very promising. 910, that's pretty good. Let's see here. Fort defense in this area could be quite good. Just could be quite good as well. She's ambitious, though. I'm going to roll the dice with Fabia Prima. Let's put her up over here in Macedon. 46, okay, that's fine. Right down here in Greece, let us assign maybe another younger character with some promise. Okay, no one with, like, actual, okay. Yeah, we're getting too low here. All right, let's actually make this a good character. I'll go ahead and put, I need to make another person have, from the Cornelii family. So I'm going to put Cornelia Secunda so the family is not disloyal, just to be on the safe side. That's going to be fine. And then as for the policies they've picked, what are we dealing with here exactly? Really? Is that the most important thing to focus on? I think that's a bit wrong. There is some conversion to do, but not much. I guess there is actually a fair bit up here. Oh my gosh, look at the amount of trade slots we have. All right. All right, let me look at Greece first, actually. Greece is smaller scale. It's just these two coastal areas. These places both need to go onto harsh treatment. That'll do for now. And then in Macedonia, Illyria Grace needs to go into harsh treatment. Also, Illyria Grace does need conversion to harsh treatment for now. I don't know if PI to do this. All right, these places all probably need to go into harsh treatment. So nobody please ask to be governors or change my governors or do anything with my governors. Just leave all the governors where they are, please. I need to get this under control. All right, everyone's on a harsh treatment. Let's just do it like that. That's going to have to be what we do. Okay. And then I can expand the Thasos gold mine because I own this island, Thasos. 100 gold. Permanently gets pop capacity, 1 extra copy of base resource, which I assume is gold. Slaves needed, -2, and 2 Epirote slaves are removed here. Sure. The ancient gold mines of Thasos have fallen on hard times. It behooves us to address this with haste. Okay, yeah. Thasos resurgent. From time immemorial, the mines of Thasos have provided the Mediterranean with high-quality gold. First, the Phoenicians and then the Greeks settled here, turning a backwater island into a location of strategic relevance throughout the Aegean. In recent past, however, the populace has drifted away and the mines are operating at poor efficiency. A small economic stimulus ought to put Thasos back where it belongs. All right, good. Oh, one of the following must be true. Oh my god. I totally misread that earlier. Okay, well, we can get this now then. We get a fortress on Corcyra, which may or may not be a good place for it. Whatever, it's free building. The region of Greece is known for many islands spread across the Greek Sea, and a handful of those would make perfect entry points for our armies, so they have a safe haven when they start spreading the influence of Rome across the rest of the Greek world. Right, the island of Corcyra. Corcyra has finally fallen to our rule, and the question of what we will do with the island has come up repeatedly. While situated to be our major port in the area, we can either expand on the local walls in the area or start to build a fleet to protect it. Ooh, this could be quite good. I do want to actually get additional ships soon, so I'm going to go for this one. Actually, that's just in Corcyra. Never mind. I would rather sell the fortress. So a defensive island in a sea of hostility. All right. I can't believe I screwed this up. All right, whatever. Okay, let's take a look at our new territory now that we got these governors assigned. It's over here in Illyria Grace. The capital here should probably be Apollonia. I'm sure the colonial decision would let me pick Apollonia as an option. It is farmland on the coast with a river, so it's better than Dyrrachium. Lissus would also be fine, although Lissus is in kind of a weird spot. Apollonia's in a better location for... Actually, they're both on the edges, actually, so either one would kind of be... Yeah. Lissos, let me think about this. Apollonia, I think, has its port here. That's what the birds seem to say. So, I guess they would give me a port on this tile, which could be quite handy. I think having a port directly controlling this, I could actually have Apollonia end up being a major naval center, because it's at the mouth of the Adriatic Sea. I think for that reason it's a bit better than Lissos, even though Lissos is also a good location at the edge of this frontier. So let me go ahead and move the capital to Apollonia. I think that's the move. And I have to wait to get the Colonia thing to move the capital, but it's fine. We'll worry about that later. All right. And then there's no buildings here. What do we have here? Colonia. This could probably go. That's mountain passes with nothing there. Built up at least. Thracium as a city is probably fine to keep. I will keep the port for now. This slave estate can go. And what do we have here? This port can go for now. All right. And then I'm also going to go ahead and trade for stone and get some construction going. All right. I need to get Apollonia fortified right away. We'll build a port here after that. Over here in the mountains, these are all... I mean, okay, Elimium is the best spot here. Farmland on a river. So finally, some actually good terrain in this sort of mountain area of Pelagonia. It's not a very good spot in the province, but this is fine. It's kind of close to Pella as well, but this is going to be the spot to be sure. So let's set this up as the capital, and it's a city already, which is nice. So as the game progresses, places we conquer will be more built up, so it's going to be easier to deal with that. All right, super cheap fortress. And then over here, anything we can get rid of for some extra money. This fort can probably go. It is in a pretty good location to protect the interior of these mountains, so this fort could remain. I think this fort actually, yeah, it's a vegetable tile, vegetable mountain, so we have another vegetable mountains right here. Let me think about this. This fort covers... Yeah, this fort's going to have coverage with Elimium. I think there's barbarians spawning in these mountains. No, actually, because of the civ level. Wow, okay. Look at that. Barb-free area? Well, this is still a good fort to maintain. For control of this internal area. So let's keep the fort there. We can pay for lots of forts. This fort here can go, and the city, honestly, can probably go as well. So let's do just that. And then we're going to revoke the city. The tyranny expenditures began, but you know it had to happen. All right. I think I looked in this province otherwise. Okay, and now we've got Paeonia up here. Not a great province, all things considered. Technically, Spinopara would be a good spot for the capital because it's farmland on a river, and it's at this interesting kind of crossroads of a bunch of different regions. It's nearby the Thrace region, the Moesia Inferior region, and the Moesia Superior region. This could be quite a good sort of frontier city. For now, having it be at Scaptapara would be fine. And this is just a fort, so I think I'll just keep it there for now. No need to get too creative there. The slave is taking it. We're probably going to build a lumber mine there. Barracks here. I'm probably not going to put barracks in places that are not already Romanized, so we'll maybe rebuild barracks later, but for now, that can go enclosure. We could just build a farm here instead, right? What does enclosure require normally? It requires livestock. Actually, enclosure is probably better for livestock than farm. I didn't think about that before. Let's see. What's the difference here? Slaves needed. Still -5. Doesn't affect the pot migration speed. Local monthly food modifier is a bit less. Though you also get more manpower. It's interesting. I think maybe we keep enclosures for livestock. Farm for vegetables, but definitely keep that. Also has enough slaves here. Look at this. This place is already good to go, slave-wise. What do we have here? Slave estate? No. Okay. And now over here, we're kind of just working our way around. Chalkidiki. All right, capital stayed in Amphipolis, which isn't a great spot. It's hills. It does have the river. Probably Philippi is the best spot, although it is it's farmland on a river. It is not coastal, but it is farmland on a river. Alternatively, plain on a river and coastal, I think is the same. Is it 10%? Let me think about this. So farmland is 10%. Coastal is, let's see, coastal port is 5%. So we would miss out a little bit. Neapolis Thrakicum could be a pretty good spot because it's on this border with Thrake, and also with the Lysimachos, who now border me directly, so I shouldn't overlook that. These guys probably need to do some work to get good relations with that. They would ally with me right away, actually. I don't want to get tangled up in successor stuff right now, though, so let's just try to be friendly with them and not go too far. So if we're okay with the plains tile, actually, Aceris is a pretty interesting spot as well. Oh, that's not the right province, actually, never mind. Cassandrea might be okay, but there's no river here, so I'm not as cool with that. Yeah, plains, coastal, no river. This place is getting demoted, honestly. Also, this would be a gold mine. Oh yeah, this place is definitely getting demoted. I don't really like hills cities that much. Philippi might be fine, honestly. Non-coastal, but we're going to have a big sort of port center at, possibly still at Pella. I'm going to decide if it ends up saying Pella or not. Probably it will. So a non-port city over here is not the end of the world. Although Philippi is also an iron location, so I could have an iron mine. This is just stone. You know what, let me think about this. The other consideration is once I own this stuff, the capital is probably going to be Ainos, or whatever it becomes in Latin. That's the right distance away from Neapolis Thracium. I think this would be okay. Yeah, let me go ahead and actually destroy the port that's here. Yes, so I can fortify it and make it the capital. Yes. And we'll make it a frontier city. And it has a good sort of blocking with the, or it has good strategic location because of the passageway here. All right, so Philippi I will demote just to turn it into an iron mine. I could just keep it as a city, but anything that's, well, farmland on river should actually be something I keep as a city, so maybe I acted a bit in haste here. I just lost the foundry that I can't rebuild. Whoops. You know what, this stuff is not my core, so I probably should just go ahead and just demote everything. All right, Philippi can be demoted. I'll just make it a regular iron mine for now. Amphipolis, same thing. Destroy all this stuff, get the money back. Nope, I'm not building a wonder there at the minute. Revoke. Okay, now, here's where things are going to get really expensive on Tyranny. We have a lot of cities down here. Alright, so Amathea. There's a lot of good spots here. Pela is a great spot, and I think it may have... Nope, no special modifiers. There was a wonder here in Methone, so we could build a city here. Plains on a minor river and on a major river, so that's worth noting. Let me think about this, actually. Nearby river and adjacent to major river. This actually is technically better than the farmland on a major river, because farmland is 10%, major river is 10%. But then it's not coastal. So that's 20% versus 5, 15, 20. So it's actually the same value. So Methone, the other reason to make Methone the city here is that I then have more room to work around this wonder. So let me talk about this wonder for a second. This is the Palace of the Argiads. It looks like it is tier 4. It just reached tier 4 actually, so that's pretty good. Tribute income 50%? Subject opinion plus 25. Holy shit. Oh my god, I didn't realize it reached tier 4 already. Woo! Alright, I'm glad I got this place. Alright, I think also this is on the crossing here. Because of the thing with the pop capacity, I'm going to make Methone the capital here. Or I guess Metone would be the correct way to say it in Latin. So, sorry Pella, but time to get... probably not going to make it... It should stay a city. On a major river and farmland is too good to not make a city. So I'm gonna keep it as a city. Although I am going to possibly change around its infrastructure here. Prioritizing stuff that... I'll destroy the stuff that affects ratio. I'm going to keep the Court of Law to improve the provincial happiness. Conscription Camp is not worth almost anything, so I'm going to destroy that for now. Knock it down to level 1 port. The tax offices I may as well keep, because I'm getting tax money from here. Not much, but I'm getting some amount. And the fortress I will keep as well. But otherwise, this looks fine. I'm going to move the capital down here. Because with the Colonia missions, I can always just not assign a Colonia if it wouldn't pick Methone. So in a weird twist, I'm going to make Methone my sort of location over here. So this place here needs to become a city like ASAP, so I can start improving its infrastructure. We just need to wait for the PI for that. Okay, now Thessalonica on the hills, this place honestly can go. We're going to have a port here on the edge of this sea tile, so don't need Thessalonica anymore. This place can become a just a regular settlement tile. Let's shred these infrastructure things here. All right, let's revoke city. These guys can just scatter to the winds. Pydna can go as well. Yeah, nothing too special about here. Is it even on the river? It is not. Yeah, get out of here. And Diem. These guys have got a great temple, interestingly, but it's not going to save them. And I'm going to destroy their thing there as well. This can become a stone mine. All right, back up on the tyranny. Knew this would happen, but it is what it is. But there's more tyranny. We're actually going to hit our tyranny cap here in just a minute, so that's going to be really cool when that happens. But this was a big conquest. Big conquests have a lot of tyranny coming from them because of how it works in this game. All right, so that is this area I tended to. Actually, this has a farming settlement. I'll keep the farming settlement. I may replace it with an enclosure later, but we'll worry about that later. This barracks can go. And then this farm for citrus can stay and also become a proper place there. All right. Okay, now to Greece, because there's more. Kerkyra, this is not a great spot for a... Like, in this province, Ambrakia is the clear best spot because it's farmland. No river, but it is farmland. Kerkyra isn't a good location for, like, a port location, and it has a level 3 port. So, do I keep Kerkyra as a slightly less than optimal plains island city to be, like, a major port over here? It's not a terrible idea. It is, as an island location, very easy to protect with ships, so there's an argument for that. Ambrakia is also olives, so this wouldn't be a great location to be a settlement otherwise. Passorum is an abomination as a mountain city, so I'm going to be at least destroying the buildings here. And I only can do one more city revocation. This mountain city needs to go. This brings me to the point of madness just looking at this. Get out of here. Alright, other locations to destroy. We already talked about that. Alright, Phoenix, I can't do any more revocations now. That's great. I just have to wait now and still be at 100 tyranny, but, you know, that's how it is. Slave trader can go, and then we're going to devote this afterwards. Kerkyra as a, like, permanent capital here is an interesting idea, though, to be sure. The pros and cons here... Ambrakia is already the capital, so having just Ambrakia be the capital would be easier in many ways. And another pro is that there's no other, like, amazing... well, actually, that's not true. Yeah, I kind of want to move the capital of this province to Therium, because it's farmland, and it's covering these crossings, so that's quite good. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that, honestly. So let me look over here now. Thermum in the mountains definitely needs to go. All I can do for now is just destroy the infrastructure, and then I'll demote it afterwards. This mountain city is so built up. Now, Baktos can lose its port. And then this city here I have to also get rid of. This could be a marble mine eventually. And then on the islands, this port can go, and this port can go. I think, so Ethereum should be the capital of this province, which means I'm actually going to have Korkaira be the capital over here, in a weird twist. Just to make it the capital, because we already have all the territory in this province. Alright, so this is going to be one of our major naval centers over here. I guess this makes sense. So I actually think I'm going to redesignate the Heraclea Navy to be the Korkaira Navy. I think having it live over in Korkaira is in a better location, and it sort of serves the same goal of protecting the Adriatic. Once I make Apollonia a major naval center, I'll redesignate it again to be the Apollonia Navy, and that navy that sort of governs, or kind of is in charge of the entrance to the Adriatic will be based in Apollonia's large port. But for now, Heraclea can remain a major like naval construction center. Well, do I want to actually like build a shipyard here and like do that stuff? Like, I did build one in Pisay earlier. I have a lot of money to make use of here, so I could do that. I'm trading for stone right now, aren't I? Alright, let me build a shipyard in Heraclea, and then I'm gonna also build one in Korkaira. We're gonna really like get these like naval infrastructure stuff going here. I may actually even have my new third navy be based in Heraclea or Korkaira. And I can have, you know, good naval construction in a city that doesn't have a navy base there. Like Heraclea is a really good location for a major naval center. Come back to that later. Right, I don't have any other amazing port locations around this area, so Kolkata will do it for now. Right, in fact, yeah, I'm gonna have you... I'll have you stay in Heraclea. I'm gonna have these other ships actually head to Kolkata and become the start of Classis 3. How do I say this in Latin? Korkaira is how you say it with the English pronunciation, but it would be Korkaira? I can't say it. Korkaira, I'll just call it like that. Korkaira. Head to Korkaira. Alright, and then down here, I think I looked at everything already. This is all fine. So Ambarakia, I can just keep as a city, honestly. Farmland on the water is fine. It has a great temple, which is going to help. This can go, though. Actually, can it? Oh, yes. In fact, the Great Temple can also, honestly... Actually, State Religion Happiness is really good, so I'm going to keep that. The Freeman District can go, and what else do we have here? The port I'll keep. The port I will keep. And then over here, we can move the capital like so. Okay. And then we can build a fortress here. All right, there we go. And then, with the rest of our money, any other fortresses I need to build around here? Some of these places, like the hills here, this fort coverage is crazy. I should probably build a fort in Callan Doe. It's just an olives location, so that is going to be fine. This will completely cover this whole area. I should have a fort up here, honestly. There's an interesting farmland tile tucked away up here. Oh, we already have a thing there, right? Could build a fort in Bylazor, but this province technically extends this direction, so let me wait and build the forts up here further once we get there. And then otherwise, I think things look fine. I should probably build a fort at Naupactus, as it's called now. Although I'd rather build the fort in Thermum, which... Did I destroy a fort here, or did it... I don't remember. I think Thermum didn't have a fort, because this is mountains, and this covers the crossing anyways. Actually, there's going to be a fort right there, so a fort here wouldn't really be super needed, although there's now a passageway through here, so... Maybe I build a fort in the mountains instead. Mountain Pass. I could just build it, though, in Hypate for the same effect. That's the right distance from the other thing, yeah. Let me build a fort in the mountain of Hypate ahead of my follow-up war with Macedon in the future. I think that's the way to go. And then this actually does protect it, so then fort coverage from here. They can only get up to here before they have to go... Or they can go to here, technically, before they... No, then they get into fort coverage at one of these two forts, so that works. Okay. That looks good. And I could build a fort at Lissus, but I don't think that's needed. Don't think that's needed. Alright, so let's reinvest the rest into our slave economy. Oh my god, this is about to go crazy. Alright, let me think about this. We have a lot of slaves to work with here. A lot of them were sent to Ostia and Rome. Let's see. Okay, first things first. Let me switch over to vegetables. Alright. Okay. Looking for mines. Actually, let me do it like this. I'm looking for gold. Oh, yeah. Let's get gold mines going and get some slaves moved in for the gold mines. That's a priority. Never mind going here already. Let's build a mine over here, too. And a mine over here. Oh, I actually missed this tile earlier. Glad I caught that. Alright, let's get some slaves moved in. Alright, pop info, slave promotion not allowed. This should be... Oh, I forgot to trade for stone before I built the mines. It's a very small difference, so I'm just going to roll with it. It is what it is. Bring them over from... Gitane. What am I going to need? 12 in total, so... 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then, over here... Gold should sell in the market for sure, so we're going to get some commerce money from this, or commerce money. We're going to get some commerce, growth from this to be sure. Thessalonica needs to lose a lot of population here since it's perfect. All right. Yeah, I know you're overpopulated. Just lose these people and then you're going to be fine. That's on you though to do that. Let's move some people in. Move people in here. We're gonna have even more copies here because of the thing we just did, the 100 gold we spent. All right, Philippi can lose some people. Actually, let's move people from Amphipolis first. I guess that's it actually. All right, we will need. Actually, we need 10 here because of the modifier. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Slave promotion not allowed in Thasus. Very good. Okay, what else can we get with slaves here, with the remaining money that we do have? Precious metals. Any other... Do we have marble around here? Oh, we sure do. Why does marble have the world's hardest to see color with the background? I can barely see it. Alright, well, we at least have marble down here. Both these tiles are still cities here, so that's awkward. I can move the slaves in here, and then once... I can demote it. I can then start the construction of the mine after that. So let's just do it like that. It's kind of awkward, but this is going to have to be how we do it. All right, slave promotion not allowed in either of these tiles. All right, let's move some slaves in here. All right, so we will ultimately need, I assume, let's just assume 12. I can't tell right now with how it is set up, but all right. Opium? What? I've never seen that resource before. Oh, it's right there. Okay. National freedom and happiness. Interesting. Okay, well, let's come back to that later. Move some slaves from Banakia would be fine. And from Naupactus and Lucas. All right, and then Theramum as well. Alright, that will do down here. And then back in my core, are there any more marble tiles that I haven't... oh my gosh, this is going to be so tough to... It's actually easier to look at it without the thing selected because it has the same color as the background. But here it doesn't because of all the other colors. Alright, I think I've set these all up already, haven't I? Yeah. Alright, any more marble on the islands, maybe? Nope. No marble to be seen. Alright. How about... I think I actually saved my money from here. I need to save up my money for other things. Okay, so having done all this, Campania has problems right now. It's mainly the tyranny. That is not a huge surprise. I think this is fine. No, it's not fine. Okay, let's wait, and then we'll switch Campania over to harsh treatment. Unfortunately, it has to happen. Okay, I think we're good to go ahead and unpause here. Holy moly. Alright. That was crazy. Alright, start importing all of our new goods. Horses escaping. Terrible news from somewhere. It seems that one of the stable hands forgot to close the gate before falling asleep, and when the idiot woke up, every single horse on the farm had escaped. There is no doubt that the animals have made it to the Badlands at this point. A total loss. What is the effect of this? I wish the game told me. That'd be nice. If the strategy game told me what my options led to, that would be cool. Alright, in case this is some giant modifier that affects everything, I'm going to go ahead and just pay the money. I have the money, so we have to catch at least a few. Get out there. Alright. So, to go to war with these guys, this can be a very small-scale war for just this stuff, so at least that's something. Although we may as well just, finish off Macedon at that point. Our numbers will probably be there by then. So we shall see what ends up happening with that. We'll at least have to wait until the truce is up. I have to find them in my giant list of truces. February of 496. That's the consulship after next. We'll worry about it then. Which is a bummer because we're about to have another really good military consulship, so... we'll have to see what we want to do with our military power at that point. Alright. Sell more of that stuff. Alright, let's start getting the classes 3. Kor Kyra. Alright. Let's assign an admiral. I could put Sawerio here. He's still kicking. Is this the same guy? Maybe this is actually the son of the previous Sawerio. I think this might be the son. But he does have good martial. Maybe someone a bit younger. Anybody younger? Claudia Prima looks promising. Abrasive and confident, though, is not great. I think she's probably okay. I could put Archimedes as the guy. That'd be interesting. I could put this Quintus Fabius Gotigus, probably the son of the other one. He kind of looks a bit like him, too. But he's sick, so maybe not. Alright, let's put, let's see. Let's put Claudia Prima with her 9 martial. That would be fine. No funny ideas. Alright. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have... Where is it? Classless one Ostia. Alright, here's what I'm going to do, actually. I'm going to wait to build up... I'm going to do a big naval build-up, and I'm going to build the entirety of Classes 3 in kind of one go, and I'll switch over to the ship building cost reduction idea for that. But I don't need it right now, and I don't have enough PI to do that right now. I need to save my PI for a lot of things right now, so let's just wait. Yeah, let us just wait for that. So we'll get to that later. Also, did I switch off stone? Oh, I was on vegetables, not stone. Whoops. Switch off vegetables now. I got a bit of food from that, so that's fine. Also, we still have food problems, even with all this grain coming in. The livestock will help a bit, though, so... Alright. One more year to go. These guys want my olives. Yep. Well, I feel pretty stupid for screwing up this thing with taking this, but this is outside the region. It's not my fault that I forgot that this stupid mission tree isn't based on the regions that are in the game. Alright, Fabia Tertia is cultivating quite the reputation as a woman of decency and honor. Such virtues give our citizens good reason to feel safe, secure, and stable. 3 more stability. Very nice. Alright, this AE is going to cause me some serious problems, but that is fine. I'll just have to roll with it. We have a martial perk available, may as well grab loyalty and respect. That was a crazy conquest right there. I don't think I'm ever going to do a conquest that extreme, but honestly, I probably will, knowing myself. It's almost for sure going to happen again, realistically. But we can definitely now recover. Now, my main military is ready again August 6th, which means I can start doing some road construction. I can also do it with the Migration Levy, too. I'll probably raise all of them and have them get to work in teams to start building roads. Assuming I have the money for, which I think I will probably. I do need to make a couple places cities, and I want to save my PI for other purposes too. We'll come back to that later though. I think getting some roads going is a pretty good priority. But it's expensive, you know, it's 50 gold per road. Alright. Macedon's navy is, or their army is posting up here for some reason. They're not at war with anyone, so I'm not sure whether they're not just lowering their army. I guess the levy of Macedonia can't be lowered. No, it can. They still have part of Macedonia over here, so never mind. They can lower it. They're just choosing not to, for no reason. Alright, we're nearly there with the military. 6th of August, and the other one is going to be a long ways away, so we'll come back to that later. But 6th of August for the Italia levy, very good. How's Carthage feeling about me? Carthage, I think, lost territory to Massilia. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Carthage is just not doing well this game. What's Egypt up to? Oh my gosh. 90 from AE. Egypt might declare war on me if I'm not careful. I gotta watch my step around here. That's for sure. I can also do another city revocation. Alright, let's revoke this mountain city. Get out of here. One more to go. Macedonian threat. Our landfall in Greece has raised the eyebrows of many of the kingdoms and successors splintered from the ruination of Alexander's great empire. The region of Macedonia, populated by the proud ancestors of Philippus and Alexander, pose a significant threat to Rome and to the liberty of the numerous cities in our shared sphere of influence. The gods themselves augur well for continued involvement in Macedonia. We must put an end to any interference in our expansion. Better late than never, I guess. This would have saved me some AE, but alright. Thanks. Oh. The Greek polis spawned an exodus of art, philosophy, and culture, which shaped the development of Rome since the early days of our existence. Now, with their hegemony stretching into the very heartlands of their past oppressors, the disparate city-states of Greece cry out for an end to tyranny. Yeah, I'm sure that's what they're doing. It is our right, nay, our duty, to liberate the downtrodden people of the Greek peninsula, bringing them under the fair rule of Roman law. Roma Invicta. Okay, that actually does make things a bit easier for me. This opens up a lot of options for how we approach Greece, which won't be happening in the rest of this consulship. We need to keep recovering our strength. Whew. Alright. And our AE is declining very fast, almost a full 1 per month, 0.76 to be exact. That's pretty good. Things are definitely going well for the Rome campaign. This is a pretty fun episode. Martial advance 5, morale of armies and navies, and increased legion and navy maintenance costs. And another innovation. Okay, at this point, do we push down to mercenary benefits and servile bondage? Servile bondage is another great PI boost. But, let's see. We've gotten all of our level 5 ones, so the next closest one is 95, so we won't get to servile bondage soon. But we will get to it in the near future, so I should probably go for it. I need to stack these PI bonuses as much as I can, honestly. Let's go for it. Clean water. From simple wells to grand aqueducts, the access to sanitary water is, you're right, our higher classes demand. What we're really going for here, of course, is a servile bondage, which is so good. 10% more PI and 3% citizen output. That's coming up next. Oh, hold on, I totally forgot about the trading stuff. Let me look into that. Now Tuscia can trade something in. Good. Let's just trade in some gold. Better late than never, I guess. on this. Who else? Campania can trade another thing in. Let us trade in some, I guess, amber? Sure. Just trading for value right now. Don't need to get too fancy. Brutium can trade something in. Trade in some spices from Carthage. Tarentum can trade one more thing in. Alright. Trade in some gemstones, I guess. Alright. Child Tequila, start there. Let's just trade in something with noble happiness, maybe. Let's trade in some marble. Alright, Amathea has a lot of room for trading because of its population. Okay, trade in precious metals and also more gold. Yeah, just trade in lots of gold for citizen happiness. See what we can do with that. Alright, and then Epirus can trade something in too, just for now. Please, just let me... There we go. Trade in... There's wood already, that's good. Okay, good. Trade in some glass. On the monthly tick, that should improve our economy a little bit, perhaps. Whew. Right, so next consulship, our truce with these guys is up. It's going to be the consulship after next. So in the next consulship, I sort of don't know what we're going to do with that marshal. I may just have to have a recovery consulship after a war like this, honestly. I guess I could get a claim on Skordiska. Actually, they're in Macedonia, aren't they? I have a claim on them now. I guess I could fight Skordiska to get the rest of Macedon from them, at least. It's not a bad idea. Yeah, that's probably a worthwhile use of next consulship. Just a very small war, nothing too crazy. Maybe these guys break free as well. We'll come back to that. For now, let's get some roads going. Let us get some roads going. I guess I could wait a little bit. Yeah, this episode's gone on a really long time because it was split. So let me go ahead and actually just let my resources recover. I'll get to building roads in the next episode when the new consulship begins, because we can start things off with a big road building extravaganza. That'll be really fun. We'll just continue letting our treasury and whatnot build up. Alright, this is actually pretty under control. Actually, that's Magna Graecia, so no wonder. This is also more under control than I would have expected, given our stability situation and the tyranny, but goes to show I know what I'm doing. Alright, trade with these guys. Economy's looking good. Trade with these guys. Good. Election soon. Yep. Looks like it will be Africanus and Cornelia Secunda. So we're not going to have great finesse on Italia, which is a shame, but not too much to be done about that. I'm happy to have another martial leader. This helps with our manpower recovery speed, so yeah. Not a bad thing. And we'll do a little war with Skordiskia and maybe something else. We'll see what we can pull off in the next consulship, but no need to get too complicated. Shipyards are done over here, good. So we can also, in the next consulship, we'll do a big round of naval buildings, but I'll do that next time. I want to plan that out thoroughly. All right. Things are looking solid. Alright. And our AE is declining at a nice brisk pace. One upside of high tyranny, to be sure. conquest. Plundering my cities. That's fine. I'm not going to bother with that right now. Got other stuff to worry about. Okay, here we go. 1st of January, 490. Squeeze in one more trade deal before the monthly tick. Alright. Appius Claudius Africanus now rules our glorious nation. 11,795. Optimates have taken control again, which means 12% noble output, which means more research. And they went to grant holdings. Stability dropped. That's fine. Okay, we have a lot to deal with, but that's going to be it for this very long but very eventful episode of the Rome campaign. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.